Hit it, Mike.
Rome if you want to. That's it, man. Get out there, be a nomad, hit
Yeah,
the road, go see what's out there. Come on.
B-52s. Welcome to the chat, everyone. We're going to throw a few choice promos across your eyebrains, and we'll be right back and get right into it. Welcome to the chat.
Beneath the hollow moon, something ancient stirs. Fangs that drank from kings, eyes that remember the plague, and a hunger that never dies. They walk among us, and they're not in the stories to scare you. They're in the stories to warn you.
The Power Agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're invisible.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's
Hi, and thank you all for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans.
Every scar tells a tale untold. Every breath makes the night grow cold. The hunter's heart and the prey's last rhyme all collide in the world of true crime. Truth is lurking in the lies they feed. Justice waits for those who breathe. Through the dark we'll trace the line. Welcome to the world of true crime.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
New
Welcome
Orleans,
to that.
baby. Narland.
Nolans.
I
New
say
Orleans.
Narland.
I believe it's
what-
actually
what do
pronounced
I
New
say?
Orleans. Correctly.
I never
in
said
French.
New Orleans. That
I-
sounds too much. Just sound too honky-ish, man.
I believe it's actually pronounced New Orleans.
I say New Orleans. New
Well,
Orleans.
in the actual French, it's New Orleans. That's how you would say it.
New Onion.
Yep. Is Orleans an onion?
Vidalia.
Hey, Google, how do you say onion in French?
Oignon.
Yeah, it's onion. Cool. Oh, very good. So what's happening? My world seems a little quiet this week, doesn't it? All of a sudden, kind of
With
scary.
news,
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to watch the news this afternoon, and all I got with Fox Live now was just this. I don't know how long it'd been on it, a fluff piece of on an Air Force air show.
yeah,
Cool,
we can.
but I've seen them. It was boring, and the others were just. None one was talking about the Middle East. No one was talking about Trump. I was like, "Where's the news?" I mean, it was all fluff piece news things today.
You got Jeff Bozo's wedding with all the famous
Oh,
people. All the famous people showed up. I mean, I guess it was the place to be. You know, I mean, if you're
I
poor,
guess.
you weren't going there. So this guy loves to flaunt his wealth. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, he's the owner of Amazon, and the people that he serves are just struggling, regular old people. I think that they should take, the humility of that. I mean, not saying don't have your big wedding bash, but to spend $500 million on some wedding or whatever the fuck it was,
Jesus.
a couple hundred million, was it like 200 million?
Oh God.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Someone at work the other day, I just happened to be eavesdropping on his phone, and he's watching one of those Reels things, and it was talking about Justin Bieber, and I forget which kind of car it was. I think they said Maserati, but it was probably Lamborghini. He spent $500,000 to like trick this thing out to make it look like a spaceship and operate, I guess, like the Star Trek Enterprise, whatever. But he spent, and I'm just thinking to myself, no wonder these people are whacked. I mean, they're spending outrageous money for things that they don't make any sense. I mean, a $200 million wedding. God, I mean, I guess if you have, what's he worth? A couple billion?
This saying here, I don't know. You got to add up all the elements. Venue, 55 million for security concerns. That's for the venue, and it was in Italy too.
Oh, geez. And he probably flew all the guests there on his dime. So there's part of your 200 mil. Right?
The wedding, actually, they're saying, generated significant economic impacts on Venice, potentially exceeding $1 billion.
Wow.
So they brought in $1 billion. Would have been nice if he did it here, somewhere in the U.S., man.
Yeah, maybe he did it because Amazon.it is, failing to meet sales records. So he went there to dump money in there. So anyone who has to buy from Amazon in his wedding party would have to order from Amazon.italy. That might be a smart move. That might be a smart move.
I just see this saying like 50 million for this, 60 million for that. But I read it was a half a billion, and then I read it was 200 million. But who the hell knows? I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
they have more money than they have sense, so I mean, I guess they can deal with it. But I don't, why even accumulate such wealth to the point where you can't even spend it all?
How much will the divorce cost? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm thinking half.
It's not going to last forever. I mean,
50%, right down the median line, except for those offshore accounts, of course. Don't forget about those.
Bitcoins, he's got a few Bitcoins hanging around.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, if you got in early, Bitcoin is probably worth a lot of money for you. But if you want to get in now, I don't think you can without spending a significant, what do they call it when you have funds to throw away?
Disposable income.
There you go. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, I'm not an economist. Not an economist, but some people look at it more like boomerang money. You throw it into the pit and see if it comes back, and if it does, you keep half and then put the rest back.
It's just funny how so many people put importance in this guy, and because he's got money, and if he didn't have money, nobody would care. He would just be Jeff Bezos, the electrician, leading his normal life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of funny. I don't know. The same for all of them, dude. Same. I was looking at Prince Harry crap, and then Prince Harry's saying he regrets his role in the thing, the rift. He regrets his role. He's the one who did it. It wasn't like he had a role in something, I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to consider it, but these guys can never ever take responsibility for the messed up things that they do, and they want to just shift the blame. And I think I don't know about you,
And I've
I've
never
had enough of
understood
people.
this country's fascination with the antics of the royal family.
Uh,
Me personally, I couldn't give two fucks. Pardon my French. But anytime there's any special royal event, a wedding, a birthday, a party, baby, any kind of news, they have like a 3-hour thing on the Today Show, and it's like, I don't care. They don't run my country. We abdicated from their country violently twice to get away from the English rule, and now, I mean, yeah, okay, we're buddy, but I could care less what's going on with their government. I really couldn't care any less about
if there's any satisfaction, he married that narcissistic psychopath, and then she tortures him. Man, I look at that. I'm like, they deserve each other. Oh my god.
Well, hopefully he's tortured nightly. Hey, there's Joe.
There you are.
Hey, what y'all doing, guys?
We were just
Talk about-
ragging on the royal family there a little bit.
Prince Harry.
Y'all keep doing that. Y'all keep doing that while I put Rumble in the system.
Prince Harry and his denial, his denial of life, and also his psychopathic wife. I mean,
He said he wants to sell. Oh no, wrong Prince. Never mind. Sorry.
He wants to what? Sell Scotland? I'll buy it.
Prince Philip said he wants to sell Canada to the United States. He said
$50.
when he said, who's the other prince? The baby one, the one that's going to take over.
Prince William?
Okay. Prince William said that when he becomes king, he's selling Canada to the United States. He said, I don't know why they don't already belong to the United States. How you doing?
What's up, Heidi?
I think he's trying to push his dad into selling them.
It's not a bad idea for them. Their country
It's not a bad idea for everybody.
For the money, and we could use the land and the income.
Yes, I mean, it's good for everybody involved. But them Canadians, I don't know. They're not happy about it. They're not happy. Thundercat. Somebody find a Thundercat theme for the night.
I don't know. I think some Canadians are happy about it. I think some of them want to be part of the U.S. It's better.
Well, about half are.
Economically, I mean, really.
They said in a vote it would be about 50-50. But that's why they don't want to do a vote. They just want to take it over and say, okay, look. I mean, Trump, y'all heard what Trump told him, right? Trump was a how can I say this nicely, a dick. And he basically told them, look, you want to play games with me? We'll just surround your whole fucking island or your whole continent, whatever the hell you want to call it. And you won't get anything in or out. He said, so you'll just basically starve to death. He said, Europe's not going to come to save you because they just cut a great deal with us and they don't want to go risking their deal with the United States. He said, y'all will just be stuck there. He said, since you're being a dick, he said, I want to be paid back for all the money we used to protect you for the last 200 years. I was like, holy shit. I don't know what Carney told him, but he is pissed, man. I mean, he is super pissed. That's, that's his right, though, I guess, He's president of the Hoo-Ha Club.
The Hoo-Ha Club.
That's what he's president of. Well, Jimmy Lee, while they're talking, I'm going to put y'all on Rumble right now.
I think Trump definitely has an agenda. Thundercats.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, Thundercats.
One of the best cartoons that was ever produced. They actually had if you all don't know this, they had a child psychologist. I forget the doctor's name. Robert Cuisis, actually. It just came to me. And he approved all the artwork, all the scripts, all the language, everything that was used in it so that the kids wouldn't be, traumatized by any of the violence in it. And in my opinion, that's one of the scariest goddamn monsters, bad guys ever, Mum-Ra. And it was approved by a child psychologist. So there you go.
Yeah, the children aren't scary that easy. I
mean, granted, when I was watching it, it was, late high school. I was 16, 17 years old, but a 4 or 5-year-old seeing Mum-Ra would probably be scared out of their diapers, man. Probably would poop the hell out of them too.
That's Thundercats rule. But well, if you've watched Thundercats enough, you're not really worried about Umbra because Lionel's gonna kick his ass.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the Wonder Twins? Those two
No,
idiots.
yeah, that
One
was
was a bucket of water, and the other one was like a hawk.
Before anybody writes to
Water
us,
running.
we're talking about Thundercats, and if you're too young to know what Thundercats are, I don't know what to tell you. You're just too young to know what it is, I guess. It's a cartoon back from what, the 80s, 70s.
84.
It's
84.
well, that must have been when I was watching it with my kid. It's
Yeah, I was 84. I was beyond cartoons, man. I was out hanging out in New York City clubs. But
that's what I was doing too. But I was watching.
No, I was hanging in DC clubs too, but that still was the best afternoon entertainment any time of the day.
Tom and Jerry and freaking Bugs Bunny. Come on, man. Even
I
Mike.
watched a little Tom and Jerry too. I watched a little Tom and Jerry too. It's just all I remember is watching Thundercats with my son. Thundercats and Voltron. We watched that.
Voltron was pretty cool. I have all of those.
Scooby Doo, man, Ghost Mystery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we watched Scooby-Doo. I watched Scooby Doo when I was a kid, so that's a little different.
Yeah, they were great back then.
I watched him with my son, but he wasn't the biggest fan of them. But he was a big fan of Voltron. He's a big fan of Thundercats. He was a big fan. Huge fan of Teenage fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Oh my god, them turtles, man. He used to get shit for Christmas for turtles. He was running around Ninja Turtle and everything in the house.
You remember the banana splits?
Yeah, I remember the banana splits.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I must not never seen
awesome.
those.
There were dogs, but there were people in giant dogs.
There was a dog. There was an elephant. There was a lion. Hang on.
That was a New Zoo Review.
Oh, I remember that one too. But hang on a minute.
Freddy Frog, the Magic Garden. I had a thing for that chick on the Magic Garden. I was just little nothing, man. And she was like, ooh. I was like, ooh. Back in the day, we had the good stuff. What
are the Saturday night cartoons now? I mean, I don't have any grandkids. Everybody's grown, so I don't know what the cartoons are right now.
They're not even called cartoons anymore. They're called animations. Animations, man. I got corrected by my ex's kid. I was like, go watch some cartoons. He's like, they're animations. I'm like, go watch whatever.
We're watching anime. Well, it's funny you said that because why does it all say media presentation? What the fuck is that? Anyway, I was in first time I went to Dragon Con. I'm up at Dragon Con. I'm walking around doing interviews like I always do. So there's a bunch of those anime chicks and guys over there doing their things. I walk over, start asking questions, and they're telling me about how they got started in it and what and see, they were calling it tunes, what they were watching. And they said, oh, I like to do this. I like to be that, And she was telling me what girl she was, because I didn't recognize any of them, by the way. None of the anime people I recognized at all. So it just tells me I'm missing out on a shitload of cartoons. And so I'm standing there talking to him. This guy walks up past me on the shoulder. He said, can I ask you a question? I'm like, well, I'm kind of in an interview right now. Can you wait till the interview is over? He said, sure. So I finished the interview with the anime couple, and I walk over. He said, what? He said, can I do an interview with you? I said, you want to be interviewed? He said, no, I want to interview you. And I'm for what? He said, I know who you are. And I'm like, what do you mean you know who I am? He said, you're Joe Montaldo. Next thing I know, there was 35 people surrounding me, asking me questions about alien shit. And then one of the directors come over, and she goes, aren't you here with John Goodwin? I said, yeah. She said, well, why are you surrounded by all these people? I said, because I'm a little bit famous. She's like, what? I said, yeah, just a little bit, not a lot. She said, well, you seem to be a little more than a little bit. And I said, so then I had somebody call me, so I had to go take a call. So she goes and walks and asks John who the hell I am. And I mean, it was fun. I mean, every now and then somebody sees me, they recognize me, but it doesn't happen near as much as it used to. It's we were in somewhere in Colorado, and the guy I think it was at a weed store actually, and the guy recognized us. He's like, "Want some free weed?" I'm like, I don't do that kind of stuff, sir. He said, yeah, I don't believe you. I said, no, I don't do that kind of stuff, sir.
Hey, I got a treat for the panel here. It's only it's almost 3 minutes, but I think you'll both recognize it. We got the dog, elephant, I guess a bear or a monkey on the drums. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, a long time.
Four bananas make a bunch of soda, many more. Over hill and highway, the banana buggies go. Coming up to bring you the banana split show. Picking up a
we didn't get that stuff. That's weird stuff.
Oh, it was bizarre. It was an ensemble show. They get cartoons and little skits and things. The banana split.
We got Cosby, man, in Fat Albert.
Look, it's Hanna-Barbera too. It was live action, animation.
It was too sophisticated for the South, dude.
Okay.
They played cartoons, and there was this one guy living on a jungle. I don't know.
Yeah, see, we didn't get this. We got Cosby. They teaching you about counting and teaching you about words and stuff. And then we get the Fat Albert show.
Yeah, we got Fat Albert too, but that was one of the things we had every Saturday. We had that, and we had Wonderama. This is on Channel 5. That was pretty cool. It was a weird childhood. That was one of the weirdest shows ever. It wasn't Sid and Marty Krofft, which is even weirder.
I can't remember, but it was like Conjunction Junction. What's your function? I remember that one.
That was ABC, and they were little 30-second.
This is the Magic Garden, man.
Cartoons and stuff.
Magic Garden. I had a thing for this chick. That one.
Yes, because she was doing shrooms in the Magic Garden, apparently. Oh my God! And we watched this as children. And people, you wonder why we so fucked up in the head. Look at this crap.
Mm-hmm.
You go back and watch some cartoons, you'll know why we're so screwed up.
My God! One of the local channels in New York, Long Island.
And now we got talking damn sunflowers. Oh man! Now explains why you Yankees so fucked up. Now I understand. I wasn't sure why. Now I kind of understand. Yes. What's that, Billy Ray? Oh, when I call them Yankees, that's because I'm fucking with them. Because half the people that live in the North aren't from the North anymore. Yeah.
Well, if this is what
I'm fixing to shoot Jay.
Explains a lot.
I'm fixing to send a torpedo to Jay's house. Sidewinder missile or some shit.
Yeah. So wow, we'd had some crazy stuff when we were kids.
Okay, people. I'm gonna put my camera on in just a second. I'm doing something. I'm drinking some tea.
Yeah, and I'm smoking a tobacco cigarette, so I can't.
Yeah, you can't smoke cigarettes on there. Where am I at? Let me find myself. Oh, there we are. Okay, welcome back.
Oh, I'm
back. Hey, what's fucking wrong with this?
Hey, Sean. Oh yeah. By the way, we started on the 7:30. Do you want to do ads now, or do you want to wait till the bottom of the hour?
Who's doing that, man? Knock that shit off. All right, there we go. We got him back now. We do them in the bottom of an hour on this show, so we'll wait.
Yep.
We should have done one earlier, but we'll do them in the bottom of it. Frankie J, you're on Pow Talk, aren't you? Yes. So yeah, I'm going to introduce the host eventually to Pow Talk. I'm going to show him how to use it now, and we're going to do on there. No, Sean's the most handsome guy in the network. Somebody goes,
why are we watching?
Oh, is there checking it out?
I don't know these people. They just host on the network. I have no idea who these people
are. That was Schoolhouse Rock, Heidi. It was ABC's little commercial blips, PSRs, if you will, public service announcements, PSAs rather.
Yes.
And they were all between all the cartoons and shows on Saturday and Sunday.
Because that's what they thought they were going to do. Everybody was going to shove their kids in front of the cartoons, and they were going to do that. But they forgot the baby boom is in the accident. It said, get the fuck out the house and go outside.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the only time I got to watch cartoons was in the afternoon because if I was inside on a Saturday morning, I was in shit.
We were kicked out of the house by around 10:30 or 10 o'clock at the earliest. My dad would come down. The cartoons were until about 10, 11 o'clock, but American Bandstand and the other show.
Hey, are you online? I'll send you
we're
invite.
on, and my dad would force us outside so he could watch those two shows.
Hold on, I need
Dude, right after Scooby-Doo. Right after Scooby-Doo, we had to go outside, man.
Yeah, but my dad would kick us outside so he could watch the girls on the American Bandstand dancing without bras.
Where? I don't have Facebook open. That's what the problem is.
Okay, Jake, Michael, and Scooby-Doo. Out of the girls, who were you like attracted?
Oh, me?
Who
Veronica, totally, man.
Yeah,
she's kinky.
Veronica.
No, I would have to say everybody liked Daphne because she was tall and cute.
Veronica, you got to see her name.
I don't.
However, Linda Cardellini as Velma Dinklage.
I was thinking Scooby.
I like the smart girl. Joe's kinky, man. You got that kinky thing.
Yeah, I'm going for Scooby, man. Fuck y'all.
Nah, come on, man. Veronica, look at it.
Hey, I forgot. We got guests coming on with us in a minute, so y'all behave yourselves. You don't have to behave, but we got guests going on in a few minutes. I actually forgot. It's a good thing. Giovanni Stefani's coming on. The Mafia's kind of put a hit on you, buddy.
Oh wow!
Y'all were being bad, so I'm bringing in the fucking Mafia. No, he's They got a new movie coming out or something. What is with this stupid computer? It's okay. Is this me? Is that him? Okay, that's him. All right. Send him that. I don't know what was going on with my computer. It was getting a little kinky, I think. Well, I don't know where. There we go. It was doing weird stuff. I'm trying to get my friend Kevin to come in with us, but he ain't gonna do it. I'm like, come on, Kevin, come hang out, man. These boys only bite if you ask them to.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe not. Sometimes they might just bite just because, but still, usually just if you ask them to. Let's see. Let's put this over there.
Welcome back, Heidi. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Heidi. Hey. No, I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I keep every time I go playing with the Rumble, I forget to add it in here is what I keep forgetting. It's actually on. Y'all are watching like dead air at the moment. Jay played that conjunction function shit and got me.
I did that one. I had nothing to do with that.
Somebody played that shit. My brain went. My brain just went out of it. I was like, what the fuck is that? Okay, people, you can hear some Rumble if you want to go back to Rumble now. I'm sorry about that. And for the people on Power Talk, you can listen to us on Power Talk. Everyone else, go to Roku, go to fucking Fire Stick, or get on the radio. Jesus. Heidi's married with 15 kids. Why? Wait, and she's not just married to anybody.
Heidi got 20
She's married to Beelzebub. Well, she had 15 with Satan, 20 with Beelzebub. She's a busy woman. What can we say? And what's the other one? We didn't even get the other one. What's the other one? Satan, Beelzebub, and who else? Come on, guys. There's three of them. Lucifer. Yeah, we don't know about Lucifer yet, so we're still waiting to hear.
I'm not going there tonight. No.
It's
no.
What are you talking about, Jackie? Why did I name three different ones? Okay, look, you can do it one way or another. You can say the devil's all of them, which is if that's what you want to say it, or you can say each one is its own entity. That's entirely up to y'all. I'm not getting into that, but y'all can fight about that wherever y'all at.
So, whose fucking idea was it to have a bunch of kids? She's laughing.
Well, everybody should have 20 or 30 kids. I mean, that's especially in America, we got all this room we got to fill up. We're fixing to take over Canada. We got all this room we got to fill over.
Go ye forth and
be fruitful and multiply is what it says. Well, you ever need help, you let us know. We'll put some people out there for you. That's rough in the world today. Being single with anything is rough. Jeffrey Lee Peters. So I'm going to leave that name alone. What? What, you mean Michael? Yeah, he's single. I don't think he swings with the monkeys. Look, if you want to come in the room and talk to him, I'll send you an invite. You see, I don't think he's going to be nice to you, though.
Who?
Let me let Giovanni in here.
Buy me a steak dinner and we'll
By the way,
talk
this is
about
a
it.
chat,
You know?
not a singles chat.
Well, see, if you give him dinner, he might let you, look at his
Steak
bear or
dinner,
something.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, anyway,
What a man.
Giovanni. This is Giovanni. This is somebody else. This is entirely somebody else. Sorry, Giovanni. I almost got you in some shit there by accident. We were talking about somebody else that was fucking with Michael.
Oh, that was the wrong
man.
entrance right there, man.
Yeah, man. That bad timing, man. Just bad timing. Guys, I think y'all met Giovanni before. At least some of y'all met Giovanni.
No, I
before.
haven't. I never met
The
him.
alleged
maybe
fellow
not.
Italians, man.
So y'all are all virgins.
With
Oh
different
man, see
people.
Giovanni, you got a virgin crowd
A
tonight.
lot of people don't
This is great.
understand the paisan. You don't understand.
So anyway, tell us what you hear about tonight, Jay. G.
Jerry, is it Jerry or Giovanni?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm Joe. That's Michael. That's Dickhead. Look, if you want to use everybody's right names, you got Dexter to the right of you. You got Doomsday above you. You got Magnificent Michael to the left of you.
Purgatory Mick.
I change his name every night. So.
Or actually, Professor Long Duck Dong, you might want to say.
Long Duck Dong. Nice to meet you, Dong. Yeah.
I told you the show was out of control, man.
Tonight's a wild night, evidently.
Well, this show's always, it's not, the other shows are normal because we have to behave ourselves. This one, it's all Heidi's fault. She put some spell on the show and now it's insane. No, actually, to be honest with you, it is actually designed to be insane. Yes, I know. Who does that?
Right.
So what you been up to? I ain't talked to you in a while. What kind of trouble you been up to? You got married, had 10 kids or something? What?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm living on a farm now. Now I'm still in the Philippines right now. I'm still in the Philippines and enjoying myself. But I'll be getting back to the States. But I want to thank you for letting me come on your show.
No, anytime, man. You know that.
And, so basically, I was talking about. I'm getting ready to. I'm in the pre-production part of this movie that I'm doing about a very famous old-time actor back in the old days named Rudolph Valentino.
No, we know him.
And I just wanted to bring some public awareness so that we're doing this, and just reaching out. I think I'd given you some information about if people that were interested in supporting these kind of independent biopics, that they can go on to my Facebook link, which is a crowdfunder. I don't know if you have the link, Joe.
I don't have it on there. It's on the website.
I give it to you in an email.
Yeah. Well, I think it's on the website, but let me go look at my email too.
Sure.
Who's cute and sexy?
So
Just
can I ask you a question there, Gia?
Yes, sir.
Why did you pick Rudolph Valentino?
Well, as you may have noticed this or not, but he's way before my time. But when I was a kid, growing up in Hollywood, my father had this keen interest in Valentino. Now, my father was a famous rock and roll singer, Johnny Stark, and he had this thing about Valentino. I don't know if it was the sensation of the Italian Goomba thing, or he was just a very mysterious kind of an actor, but he got me into Valentino as a little kid, though, and I was probably the only kid when I was growing up that actually knew who he was. Like, who's Valentino? But as years went by, though, I started doing research about him, and he was the biggest star internationally in the world. And when he died, it was like absolute pandemonium. When he died, 100,000 people were in the streets at his funeral in New York.
Wow.
This guy because he was Italian, and in those days, though, there were no Italian actors in the 20s. So here's some guy that comes off from Italy, Castellaneta, to Hollywood. He just broke all barriers, and he became like the Latin lover. And so he did all the, and he was the Latin lover. So I said to myself, well, you know what? I want to do a movie about this. And so the Valentino family, who lives in LA, gave me the okay to go and make a good movie, because all the movies that were ever made about Valentino, they all failed. So she read the script. Her name is Sylvia Valentino. She gave me this. She gave me the thumbs up. She said, "I love your script, and go make a script." So now it's just a matter of just getting this financial support to make the film. and I think it'll do very well because it's a great story. It's called A Single Rose: The Life and Time of Rudolph Valentino and the Lady in Black.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so
Well, that
well, I
sounds
gotta-
fun.
yeah, I mean it's you know it's a part of history. It's a part of cinematic history, though. I mean, so the thing in those days though was that he was a silent film star, and so you really had to be a decent actor to show your emotions because you didn't have there was no sound. So he was very good at improvising his scenes through his sex appeal, and I think it's a great topic, and I think it doesn't matter if it was a long time ago or not; it's still very relevant. So that's the thing. So I'll give the mic back to Mr. Paisan Joe.
Yeah, no, it's whoever wants it, they can all pick it up. I'm actually looking for your email while I was talking with them.
Yeah,
Actually, how many Dagos are in this room?
a lot of them. No, it's Dago night. Dago night.
So yeah, so you know what? It's so funny.
No,
Wait, I gotta tell you the story. So I'm in New York, right? This is about 10 years ago. I'm in New York doing a lecture. So I'm walking in, I'm sitting in this room, and I said, and I put my hand up and said, how many Dagos in this room? Oh man, this one guy got seriously pissed. You white boy, you can't just go saying that. And I said, why? I said, do you see what my last name is up there, right? He's like, I says Montaldo. I said, yes, I think I can fucking say it if I want to. And he's like, well, I got guys here with me. I said, yeah, and I got guys with me too. What we're going to do, have it out in the middle of the place? I said, actually, how many of you people came here to see me and are standing with me? Like 2/3 of the place stood up. He's like, I said, you still want to fucking run your mouth? He's like, no, I'm going to go home. And then this old man at the door just pops him in the head, starts yelling at him. He said, I come here. He said, I drove 5 hours to see him, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? The old Dago, man. He's Italian. He was hardcore Italian. And I was in a neighborhood that was mostly Italian. I mean, when I knew when I put my hand up, that was going to be a response.
Well, there's a lot of Italians everywhere. I know there's a lot of Italians in Louisiana and Boston and Philly and New York. My family all derived from the Jersey area, so from Naples. So, but yeah, I mean, like there's this, the Italian culture and what we brought to America when we came out here in the old days. Though we contributed a lot, I'm sorry I made this conversation go from funny to serious. I'm sorry.
No, dude. This is what kind of show it is. No.
Gio, honest to God, this is the chat. Okay.
Yes,
we
sir.
talk food porn. We do food porn. All right.
We do everything, man. This show is insane.
We do everything, man. This is a laid back show.
Yeah. I call this the Talladega nights.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is. I mean, it's very laid back. It's not any bullshit going on. It's just where it happens to be. And we cross on a given night. We may cross 50, 60 topics, sometimes even more than that. But we blame that on height.
Yeah, I noticed that through the years that conversations change very quick. It goes from this to that. That's how it is, But yeah, I mean, basically getting back to this thing, if you don't mind me being so one-track mind about the Valentino thing, is that anybody who studies film in college, though, Valentino's name is always mentioned because they talk about the cinematic stuff, the filming, the best actors at the time. No, it was a crazy time. And that was the height of the mafia too in the 20s, and the 30s, and the mobsters ran Hollywood. You saw the Godfather.
Well, and the other struggle for the actors in that time frame, since you mentioned people who studied film, I have a degree in video from Savannah College of Art and Design, and we had classes on this stuff. And the actors coming from the silent films into the talkies, a lot of the times they didn't know how to use their voices because they didn't record in the silent films. So a lot of actors didn't make it the transition because they weren't able to use their voice. They either were high pitched or they were just unable to emote, whatever the problem was. But that's a rough time for Hollywood.
You're absolutely correct because they just didn't have, like you said, they didn't have the proper voice. Maybe they might have had a high pitched voice, it didn't work. But Valentino
or too low.
Had he had like a kind of a deeper Italian accent, but a little bit of Americanized. They said he would have transcended very well, but he died so young. He was only 31 when he died.
What did he die from?
He died of peritonitis, where it's basically the ulcer. He had an ulcer issue, and I think it basically got into sepsis. And then in those days you didn't have penicillin. So he died very, very prematurely, though. But in his short period of life, though, he made a substantial, like, groundbreaking, presence in Hollywood. They were just like, who is this? See, in the old days, Italians or Latin people, we were always put as like bad guys or villains. And then one day they said, let's put this guy in a movie called The Sheik. And it just, his career just exploded, But yeah, in those days, if you didn't have the proper voice, that you were not going to transfer well into talkies. And it happened to a lot of actors where their careers went down the toilet because they just couldn't get any work because their voice was just not good, good enough for talkies,
Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. The movie
Oh, God.
Hercules. They
Oh,
did
God.
a voiceover for the whole movie, and here's this guy ends up becoming known for his voice. So it's just kind of funny when you think of it in those terms.
Same thing happened. Same thing to Mel Gibson in his movie Mad Max when it was brought to the States. They dubbed all of the actors' voices with American voice actors because they thought we wouldn't understand their heavy
But
Australian.
Mel Gibson was from New York. He was born in Poughkeepsie.
But he had lived a long time. He lived a long time. He had been
was 8 years old when he moved. So he was 8. So I mean,
he does have an accent. If you listen to the original audio, which you can
I
get,
think he crafted that. Good eye, Mike. I could do the same thing. Let's have trip on the Bobby, mofo.
Yeah. He went from having like a thick accent to like no accent.
Right.
Weird.
He went back to his Poughkeepsie.
He went back to Poughkeepsie. But something though, like I think that people like Valentino, people like Elvis, people like that, they come around like once in a century. They're not like common people. They just have this exceptional talent that you can say what you want to say about Elvis though, but Elvis really revolutionized music, And
he did.
He did.
I'm going to ask you. Maybe you can't answer this question, but your movie, do you plan on doing it in black and white?
I've asked myself that question, and there's never been a Valentino movie made in black and white. I wouldn't mind doing a back and forth thing. I think if I do it in black and white, it's too close to being like his old movies. I thought maybe by doing it in color, but then again, there's been so many Valentino movies out there that were all done in color. That's definitely a consideration. If I would do a bounce back and forth, I'd do color, black and white, color, black and white, just to kind of give it that kind of a noir look to it, though. But there's a company in Ireland, in Cork, Ireland, and they're reviewing the script now, and they really want to do it. They just did a movie about Jimmy Stewart, and they said, well, we'll fund half your movie if you can get match funding for us. I said, sure. Well, let me get on Joe's show because Joe's the man, right, Joe? You're the main man, Joe.
We got these guys right here. They can harass him. Actually, Michael comes on after this show, to be honest with you. We got another we got a long day of broadcasting today. I mean, we got a long day because I was on just 2 hours before this show on the Arthur's Quill on the Well Behaved show.
Wow.
Everybody, if you're a behaved, nice person, that's the show you need to go watch. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Or if you're easily offended, that's definitely the show to go watch. What's that, Carol? No, I love doing the show. John's a friend of mine. I love doing the show. I always have a good time with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will say one thing. Getting back to the black and white thing, that's a great idea. There was a movie that was made about 15 years ago, and it was a black and white film, and it got Academy Award, I think, nominated. I don't know the name of the movie, but it was a silent movie, and it was made in the 2000s.
It's a fringe. I think black and white, you apply yourself to a fringe group,
But different kinds of tones. You got your sepia tones, you get your gray tones, you get your black and white tones. I'll definitely do some of it in that, though. And I don't know. You see, I'm also dedicated to my father because my father loved Valentino, and it's just a lot of things I'm doing this for, a lot of reasons why and stuff. And so
it's a great story.
What's that?
It's a great story, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story because you're dealing with Valentino, you're dealing with the mysterious lady in black who he visited when she was a child, and then he brought him a red rose every year on the death anniversary. It was a big controversy about who she was, and then we talk about his life in Hollywood in the 20s, and then the death. And it's just a great story, though. So, and Joe, you're going to put that link up there, right, Joe?
I haven't seen it yet, or it already would be up there.
Oh, Joe, I put it up yesterday, Joe. Oh, Joe.
No, I don't see it. It's not in my mail. Look. Put it right here in the comments, man. Just post it in the comments, and then I can put it on the scroll.
How do you do that?
There should be a comment over to the right of you. There should be somewhere over there. There should be a comment thing.
The chat.
Yeah. Post comments.
Oh, that means I'd have to minimize it. Let's see here. Is that?
Let's see.
Did I do that right? No. Okay. Oh,
So
that's right.
I'm just typing hello in it. You're gonna see it just light up in a minute. There gonna be things.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, just post it in there.
Okay.
And I'll get Jay to add it to the banner.
Let me.
Got a giant D in there.
Talking. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to think if I can minimize you and go back onto Facebook and grab it off for you.
Yeah, no, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, you guys.
I'm gonna post this up right quick.
I think you guys.
This is for the geeks in the room. Actually, this is for the geeks that are out there watching us now. So we talk about things that are really weird and really pop on. So this satellite went offline about 58 years ago.
Really?
And guess what?
It's back online.
It's back online. So what the fuck? So we were talking about the one that was 8 years. That was pretty good.
It's alive.
It's NASA. Is NASA Relay 2 spacecraft? Look at this thing. Looks like some shit you'd give to your kid to play with.
Washing machine.
Definitely looks like something out of the 50s with them little rings on it.
Looks like Sputnik had sex with something from Star Trek, and they made that thing.
Yeah, I know. So it was operated until June of 1967, huh? The on-bond transponders failed. Hey, now, who fixed the transponders? How did they fix? Was it a loose wire and it finally just reconnected after 58 years? Come on. That's going to be the third satellite in space and 2 rovers on Mars that mysteriously came back to life. What the hell?
That's your boy Elon, buddy.
Pioneer 1 did too. Went offline for 6 years and then came back. Or 8 years, whatever it was.
Hey, Joe, the link, Joe?
Hold on, let me get back to the room so I can see y'all. Because I ain't nowhere around the room at the moment. Just click that off. Okay, there we go. Oh, no, I don't want to click that off. Oh, well, I'll have to go get it back. All right, where are we at? Oh, okay. Am I in the right room? Oh, he put it in a private chat. Okay. Grab it like that. Grab it like that.
You're the best, Joe. You're the best, Joe.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in a banner with us right now.
Oh man, really, Gio? Really? Oh.
I do.
He's gonna have an ego.
Okay.
He's gonna have an ego.
I've already got an ego. We don't have to worry about that part. It's once you have the damn thing, you just have the damn thing. You just got to figure out what to do with it some days. Wait, where'd it go?
Oh, I thought you put it on there already. I was going to put it on there. So you got it?
Yeah, it should be on there. We'll look and see when it comes by.
Oh, mi dispiace.
On it. Okay. You know what? You can take. Why don't you take the UPRN link off? That way it's.
We put a separator between them or something.
Yeah. Do I have to resend it? Or you got it already?
No, he's got it. It's up on. It's on. It's scrolling along the bottom of the page.
Yeah, I'm fixing. So there's a gap. So.
Yeah. He's just gapping it out, but it's scrolling along the bottom.
Hey Joe, listen, I'm gonna need actors. You want to be in this Valentino movie?
Yeah, I want to be in it. I want to be Valentino. Mike would make a good. Well, I think Mike would be too tall for Valentino. He's like an Amazon.
See how this looks.
It's Kimberly. Wait, Kimberly who? Yep, there it goes. They can grab it out of there right there.
Fans already.
And then and I'm gonna put it in on regular chat so it goes out all the chat rooms. Hold on a second. Let me get back to the media and let me get back to comments. Here we go. Now it's gonna put out to all 8 of the chat rooms. Boom, there it goes.
Let me do one thing, Joe. Let me
there it goes.
Let me give you my Facebook link, okay?
Yeah, you just put it down there. Yeah, that one's going out to why was there an error on news on the flip side? I guess it said F you.
I've only got an error on Roku on my side.
Nah, Roku always does that. I don't even worry about that anymore. As long as I see it lit up on the screen when I'm watching, that's the only thing I worry about. Now, the new company, I don't know with the new company if it's going to do that anymore, but it's I think we start with them like July 5th or something. No, that's somewhere up. And I know I hate when we anytime things around a holiday because you never know if it's gonna start on time. Because last time we very first started doing TV, we started around Christmas, and then it ended up being New Year's before they got it ready. It was kind of, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about. We have Roku and Fire Stick. We're trying to get everything settled on one company. There's some pay-per-view stuff we want to start doing, so we want to be able to incorporate that into what we do. Pay-per-view, yes. Actually, it's going to be for pay-per-view stuff you can find on YouTube. I think by maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, it'll be up. It's all the gray zones or all the ones I have will be up, and on John DeSalvo and I used to do a show. I can't think of the name of it right now. They'll be up for pay-per-view too. Yes. Yeah. Be the only place you'll be able to get them yet. Well, those are really good shows too. Yeah, well, pay for it because John will get a cut. He's like an 80-year-old guy. He could use the money, I'm sure. It's Science and Beyond was the name of the show, yes. So we did. So you got the Gray Zone and Science and Beyond will be up there.
Hey,
There's
Mitch.
a lot of good shows in there. Oh man, the one about the Shroud of Turin was a fabulous show. Well, he actually got to work on the Shroud. And,
wow, that's cool.
And so we talked about that. We've talked about a lot of things. Talked about a lot of Egyptian stuff. Jay would probably love it because Jay'd be like, "This guy don't know what he's talking about." But anyway, there's a lot of good shows in there. So those will be available. You'll be able to get those soon. When Giovanni gets his movie out, we'll preview it in here so people can see it.
He's gone.
Yeah, he'll be back, I'm sure. No, you're on Power Talk. As far as I know, I have not seen Stream Key on Power Talk yet. I actually wrote to them and asked them if they're going to have one. So maybe there's a way. I'd like to have it streamed into the room. Power Talk's a lot of fun. A lot of crazy and weirdo people over there.
When I first started the network, we were all on Pal Talk then.
Yeah. We used to use Pal Talk, and Pal Talk was really good. In the old days, Pal Talk could get anywhere from 50 to 200 people on it with good questions. But now we haven't used it in 2 or 3 years, so we're going to bring it back, Mitch. We're going to incorporate it into our system one way or another. We're going to build. First, we got to build the room back up, but one thing at a time. And yes, I don't know what nick I'm going to use, but once it's fully back operation, I'll start posting there where everybody can start using it again. Yeah, well, I'll leave it open 24/7. We'll just start getting admins as we go along, like we used to. Yeah. Who's pregnant? No. So let's get back to the Prince giving us. Oh wait, Giovanni's back. We can move good. Don't let me forget. I want to talk about them getting our hands on Canada.
Oh yeah.
Hey Joe.
Hey
Joe, did you get my link for the Facebook?
Where'd you send it?
It's in the private chat.
In the private chat again.
All right. I'll let Jay grab it since he's already there.
Yeah.
Put it in the regular chat so it goes out to everybody.
Let's see, regular chat. Would that be after the microphone one? Okay, let's see here.
Mm.
I've never done this before, so crap. I got
Jay. Well, Jay's got it. Jay can pop it in there. Jay knows what he does this all the time. It's
no, Giovanni Stico. Yeah.
It's what's that? Colleen. I know. Which Colleen are you? I know a lot of Colleens. Where are you from? California. I know Colleen's in California.
Okay.
Have you ever been on Power Talk? All right, we're good. So y'all know it's up there. Anybody who wants to check out these links are going to be on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else. They stay up there the whole time. I think Facebook starts taking stuff down after 30 days now, but everywhere else they'll be up there. Oh no, if you got a video on Facebook, they take it down after 30 days. Oh yeah. They used to not to, because I had videos that would go back, well, since I've been on Facebook, not since they started. Yeah, it sucks. There could be some good videos they're going to take down.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, ma'am.
Giuseppe, Okay, anybody out there also who's an actor, producer, we need all you guys for this film though. You can send me an email on Facebook, Giovanni Sticco, Sticco. You can put your reel, you can put your pictures, and we'll consider you for a part in this movie as well.
You should put Sean on as Dexter.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Set of knives. Give me a set of knives.
That's
all
okay.
I
You know?
Yes.
Don't
let him loose with a set of knives. Is what he's telling you.
Exactly right.
I'm telling you.
That's what he's telling you. Don't let him set him loose with him.
Yeah,
Where do you
because
plan on filming it, Theo?
What's that?
Where do you plan on filming?
We're thinking about LA, and believe it or not, though, on a huge 18,000 square feet soundstage in Cork, Ireland.
Oh,
Give me a blank ticket,
Sean would,
I'll be there.
yeah. Sean would be there in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah, it's a big soundstage, and you know, Cork,
I
Ireland.
wonder if I'm still banned from Ireland. I'll have to check and see.
Oh boy, Cork, Ireland is a place where it kind of has palm trees there. It's a very unique. I think it's a coastal area, I think, or something like that. And so they make a lot of movies in Ireland and Cork. And
I got family there. I got family there.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, you know, Oliver Reed, the actor, he was from Ireland as well. And it's a great place. I'm gonna get drunk there. The first night I go there, I'm gonna get drunk. I promise you that.
Oh man, maybe you're gonna hang out with Rosie O'Donnell, man.
Oh,
Give her a
God!
part.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
Come on, man.
Hey,
That ain't no fun. What the fuck? Go hang out with Rosie.
I don't.
Heidi said, "Go hang out with Rosie."
I don't know.
I heard
She's
they were
tough.
kicking her out of the country, though, weren't they?
Maybe.
They want to. They're trying. They want
I
to.
think they're trying.
Really? No, I've always wanted.
Yeah, they want to kick her out. She ran her mouth too much.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland. It seems like a really cool place, you know.
It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Bring a raincoat.
You know, it's funny you say cool place. It is. That's why everybody wears those really, really thick sweaters, especially the further north up you go.
Oh, the wool. Oh man, them are itchy. Those are itchy.
Yeah, but would you rather itch or freeze?
I'd rather freeze.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So those are the two places. Of course, the big challenge is going to be able to find the right guy who's going to play Valentino. That's going to be tough because nobody really looks like him. He has such a unique look. You know, it's hard to find.
I have to get a camera see if we know anybody that looks like him.
You know, that's probably going to be the problem. You probably can find someone who looks like him but doesn't sound like him. You probably found someone who sounds like him but doesn't look like him. You know,
I love that. I love that, man. I love that.
Hey, Kurt.
Yeah, you know what they do in Hollywood though? When they can't find an actor who looks like that person, they just use prosthetics on their face.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about it. But a lot of the lead actors, they'll get to go to Ireland, they'll get to go to LA. So you know, we're open to that, and we can put Big Joe in there to play Mayor Lansky.
Who do I get to knock off, man?
You're gonna be one of the mob guys, you know, who finds UFOs in Hollywood.
I shave the beard off, man.
Oh, you
I
got
dye it really black, man. Like
wherever Joe goes, I go.
That's right. Michael's my bodyguard too, so
like the Memphis Mafia, huh?
Yeah, Michael's my bodyguard, man.
Hey Joe, how long have you had this show now?
This is a new show. This show is what, you guys, 10 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
10 weeks.
Yeah. So what happened was something got screwed up, and we were doing something. So we'll just go chat, and that's how it got its name. And we started chatting. Its very first night, it did 5.4 million. It was outrageously ridiculous. Even today, I was still like, wow, that's fucking incredible. It's a record on a network. And then the next week, so we did it official the next week, and it still did like 5.1. I was like, what the hell? The average is right now about around 4 or 5. But I was like, what the hell?
You mean 4 million?
Yeah, 4 million.
That's a lot, man.
That's a fucking lot. It's worldwide audience. But what's nice about this show is this show pulls a bit more. So usually we pull, our audiences are about 20% American and the other 80% worldwide. This show's closer to 40, maybe even 50% U.S., where the other shows are out in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, I got something to tell you about Canada. Are you guys familiar with Dan Sarita?
No.
The name sounds familiar, though. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Excuse me, David Sarita. He directed Dan Aykroyd Unplugged.
Yeah, when you said it, yeah, he definitely sounded familiar.
Yeah. I'm making a movie with him called 51 about Area 51 and about an investigation there. We're doing that one as well. And I got to tell you that Dan Aykroyd might be involved in this project too, and I'm pretty excited about it. You know, people can't get enough of UFOs, man, and aliens and conspiracy theories and this, that, or the other. But have you been out to Area 51, Mr. Joe?
I've been in Area 51.
You've been in there. How'd you get in?
Oh, I can't tell you that on air.
You'd have to kill all of us.
If I tell you that on air, they'd kill all of us. Yeah. You wouldn't have to be worried about making no more fucking movies anymore. Mike would have to be worried about bears in his backyard.
Yeah.
I think
they
Joe
might leave Sean alone. Sean's cute, so they might leave him alone. But the rest of us, they're gonna take out. It's the thing of it is, I spent 3 weeks out of Skinwalker Ranch, and I've been to Area 51 more than once, and then I've been outside of Area 51 more than once. It's
well, I'll tell you. So let me ask you a question. I mean, the big question everybody asks is that is it really what Bob Lazar says it is in there?
Well, first off, we have to discuss Bob Lazar and is he real or not. And secondly, it's a big place. The elevators go at least, and I'm just using the word at least, 100 stories down. At least 100 stories down. I'm thinking it's more like 200, but at least 100 stories down. And I've seen places with hangars. So you're 80 stories underground, right? They could take you in this room. This room opens up. It's a big open room, just a big square, like a where you put cargo or something, warehouse, kind of like that. All of a sudden, the ceiling opens up. Yes, so something could go in and out of it. I didn't see anything flying in and out of there, and if I did, I couldn't tell you anyway. But it's crazy. It's big. Whatever it is pretty big. The fact that it even does that. But that also tells me we do know, Area 51 does a lot of experiments on a lot of different aircraft. Yeah. That's where the DOD's little Eagle thing was developed out there, the one that flies at Mach 14. The one that Space Command said, you know what, that's ours now, thank you.
Yeah, and the history of the base starts in 1957. What was then the OSI was looking for places to develop a spy plane, and they found Area 51, which had been marked off Area 51 on the Nevada map as a place to develop and test nuclear weapons and other bombing site tests. So they acquired that section of space from the air base there, and then EG&G, which is a civilian government contractor for top secret projects, built what becomes the surface layer where they built all the Skunk Works stuff, which is really the mask for all the really top secret stuff. But Bob Lazar didn't hang out there. He hung out 15 miles southwest at a place called S4, where there is a hangar set up that's got doors that look like the side of the mountain, and they shift up and crafts can come out and be launched. And that's where he was a janitor.
Oh, that's where he worked at. But something I didn't know this. I learned this from David Sarita. He said that the name 51 came from something about the pyramids and the dimension or something dealing with the pyramids and the demographics of where it was situated, located at. They came up with that name to call it Area 51. Is the 51 pointing toward the pyramids. Do you ever hear anything about that?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. He said something about that, but I will say one thing though, that I saw the interview with Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan, and he's pretty convincing though.
He's extremely convincing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at Area 51, there's a lot to look at. One, how much stuff is still being done out there today. As far as what's his name goes, I've seen his records. I don't know if he was who he said he was. Well, so this is how this actually works out. I've got a good friend who works out at Boeing. She's way up in the ranks. She's a scientist. She's a scientist in charge of security for the other scientists, what she is. But I can't even say what she actually does because they'd probably shoot us. And then I had a good friend of mine who worked at Los Alamos, and she was a record keeper at Los Alamos. So I called her up one day. She used to work for the WIP facility. The WIP facility was an underground nuclear storage facility for non-weapon grade nuclear material. So I called her up one day when she got transferred over to Los Alamos. I said, I need a favor. And I said, I need to know who this guy is. And I gave her his name, thinking that I probably wouldn't get anything, you know. She calls me up in the morning. She says, why do you fucking want to know about a janitor? I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, this guy said he worked over at Area 51 and he was one of the scientists that works in the lab. She said, well, on our hiring list, she said, I'll show you his application. So she sent me over a copy of his application, the whole 9 yards. She said, it says he's a janitor. Now, Jay and I have talked about this before. They have janitors all over these facilities. So it still means he could have still seen the aircraft that he said he saw. Just he wasn't the scientist working on it. He was the guy sweeping up around it. And that makes a big difference when you listen to his stories. The fact that we
but also the thing is, people say, "Oh, why would he be a janitor? How would he know about the stuff?" Well, in order to sweep up around some probably highly toxic chemicals and other things they're using to test these devices with, you would have to be an advanced scientist to know what to avoid when cleaning. And he
at least you have been trained.
A gem type of guy who's there to like clean up specific types of chemicals that are caustic and deadly and require a special skill to to scoop up and dispose.
Yes,
of.
and he could have been brought in and trained for that. Somebody may have found him somewhere. Or see, people don't realize a lot of times the military is looking more on how secure you are before they assign you to something. They want to know you're not going to go run your mouth or sell this to the Chinese or the Russians or to somebody else. That's what they want to know. Mm-hmm. Once they know that, they're willing to probably train you in several different areas. It doesn't mean if you have a degree or not, but they will train you to do these things. Well, the problem with him is none of his school shows up. His school shows up, but just doesn't show up with what he said. But not saying the government can't change things, but so he got him as a janitor here, and it's no real college.
Friedman looked into him hard and deep too, and he was shocked. At first, he thought he was full of shit because he couldn't find any records, but then he realized, well, wait a minute.
Stanman still was never a big deal on this guy.
He found one yearbook photo at one of the schools he said he went to, which proved he was on the campus at least during that time frame. Whether he was in his classes or not, it's a different story. But towards the end of his life, Stanton Friedman began to think that he had his life erased.
Well, we can find his school records all except for college. That's the only thing you couldn't find was college. You could find everything else. You couldn't find his colleges. And Stan and I talked about this on air many times. Stan didn't think he was the guy that he said he was. He was like me. He was thinking that this guy was somebody else. He wasn't. He was privy to the thing, but he wasn't the scientist working on the craft. Because him and I, when we got into it deep into science, because I have a bachelor of science, and since Stan and I used to geek out pretty hard sometimes. We started geeking out one night, and he realized, because we asked him questions that we set him up is what we did. So him and I have been crisscrossing questions all night, and then when we brought him on, we put him in between us and started, and he couldn't answer them. Okay, now don't get me wrong, we were asking fairly hard science questions, but nothing that somebody with his degree shouldn't have known. So that kind of proved right there that he wasn't who he said he was. It was just questions that he couldn't answer, and that he should have been able to answer. That's really what it came down to. That was really the tell for everybody who was listening that night. And that I'm pretty sure on Wake Up USA, that's still available. So you can still find it today to listen to. If Jeff didn't take them down, they're still up there. They're still available to listen to. I like the guy. I didn't have anything against the guy or anything. And I was fine with him until he started making other accusations. And then I was like, no, I got to check into this guy. I got to see who this guy actually is. Is he what he says he is, or is he not what he says he is? And when it comes right down to it, I have no doubt he was at the place. I'm just not sure what he was actually doing at the place.
Yeah, and prior to that, the way he describes it, how he got the job was his boss at Sandia Laboratories had moved up there to 51 or area S4. and that's how he came to be interviewed for that position. And he says a scientist, but it's a janitor.
Regardless what it is, but
he,
you know what is
but
actual
there is
janitor
proof
at
that he
S4?
was with Sandia Laboratories because there's a
Oh
employee.
yeah, there's applications on it. That's what I'm saying. You
Well,
can
they
you
made
can
an
get
employee handbook with his name and phone number, and they also have his IRS forms with that.
they had the application on him. They had transfers on him because he had been transferred like 3 different times. All that information was available. None of that was classified information. I mean, they showed him on S4. They showed him at Los Alamos. They showed him at a couple of places. So, you know, there's no doubt he was there. It's just I don't know if he says what he was doing was what he was doing. But think about it: if you was a janitor at one of these places, that's still you still could sneak out there and say all this stuff, and everybody would be like, "Wow, it's." And you know, let's be honest: a janitor at one of these places is not the janitor you see at the building downtown. They're not the same thing. So it is different. But I don't think when we got to talk, because you know, one of my degrees is in avionics. So we got to talking about flight characteristics. He was lost. And I was like, wow, dude, you. So Stan and I backed off at that point. Stan, we went to break, and Stan was like, Jeff took him out of the queue, and we were talking. And Stan, I said, yeah, it's. If we'd have kept on the course, it would have been embarrassing. So we just stopped. It's because both of us believed he was there. We just don't believe that he was the scientist he said he was.
Well, and
still,
I also believe he saw what he saw. Kurt's mentioning element 115, which Bob Lazar brings up, something we now allegedly know how to make. That element 115 is what convinced me about him was real, because I remember when he came out, 88, 89. I was already in college at that point, but my last memory of natural sciences in high school was the elemental table had this little blow up box of imagined or undiscovered elements. Some were man-made elements. Element 115 was one of them, and it was on the list as 115 UUP. How do we know that that's a proposed element? We haven't discovered it yet, but they're teaching it in high school science. He mentions it, and then here we are, 2013. We now have it. It's discovered. It was once called ununpentium. Then they called it Americanium, and now it's called Moscovium.
I'm totally lost. So go ahead, talk.
we're just geeking. It's anyway. The point being is, we agree that Bob was there. We just don't know what Bob's actual job was there,
and to what context.
And if it goes by the people I talked to there, it's not what they say. Because my girl out of Boeing said if he'd have been anybody of any consequence, he'd have had to go through her. And she's been there for 25 years. Oh, actually almost 30 years. She said, hey, nobody works at S4 or S2 without going through her. She said it just does not happen that way. So I don't give a fuck who you are, admiral, general, shithead, janitor, it doesn't matter. Said it goes through. So
we got a break coming.
Probably do. Where are we, Jay? What time are we at?
Top of an hour now.
Yeah,
top of the hour.
Yeah. Let me get out of where I can see. Oh shit, we done passed the break, man. We done
past one, yeah.
Are you guys done tonight?
We just got to take it. No, you're good. I mean, it's up to you. You can stay, talk, whatever. We like having you around.
Yeah, we're on here till
I got a song if you need a song.
You got a song?
I got a song from Sean already, actually, guys.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, go ahead. Who else playing? Play up. We'll play some promos when we get out.
I heard this today, and I kind of liked it. Fits the world.
Well, I actually saw this in concert. Actually, this song, this group. Where's my extra page yet? There it is.
Hey man, you just play some Johnny Winter.
Jay's been drinking some dairy. Man.
But this is REM, and this is one of their good songs. They don't have a whole lot, but
well,
this one's
I got news for you though. Everybody talks about
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
The power agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're invisible. Welcome to Paratruth.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Every scar tells a tale untold. Every breath makes the night grow cold. The hunter's heart and the prey's last rhyme all collide in the world of true crime. Truth is lurking in the lies they feed. Justice waits for those who breathe. Through the dark we'll trace the line. Welcome to the world of true crime.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Well, welcome to Fuck Back, man. Wow, all the damn promos and shit. Who'd have invented that shit? It's all Michael's fault. He wanted to do promos. Yeah, let's do promos. Let's do promos. Sounds like Bart Simpson, man. Let's do promos. Let's do promos. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, to the chat. I hope everyone's having a good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody's listening, having fun. For our people in the UK, what is it now? Like 2 a.m. in the morning or something. So wake up and listen. Wait. Say, wake the fuck up. There you go. Yeah, y'all were falling asleep listening to them damn promos. Now y'all awake. Yes, we.
I don't understand.
What is that weirdness there? Okay, that was weirdness going on for a second.
No,
there.
that was just Bob Ross.
No, that was something with the way Mike's camera's queued up. That was just strange.
Anyway. Bob Ross in the room is that one right there that I just painted today.
Yes. So somebody's a Bob Ross fan, man. I don't know who it is. We're not going to mention no names, Jay.
Well, we both of us, Bob Ross and I, have one thing that's in common. We have really great hairdos, both of us. So.
Oh my God!
I need drugs for that, man. I really do.
I need good drugs.
So Giovanni, man, what do you think's going on here? You think you can make a movie in Trump land?
Well, anything is possible. Despite everything that's been going on, I mean, like, we still need to be entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that essentially, I mean, the world is, oh my God, it's getting to be really weird, and and we just need some deviation, and I think that through film, it's a wonderful distraction. You know what I'm saying, Paisan?
Yeah, I think it will be a wonderful distraction.
Yeah, we need it. I mean, and so I think that that's the thing I like about independent films, though. They have more grit. They got more love to them, though. I'm not a big fan of, the mainstream Hollywood movies, though, because they think that with all that money, they can just kind of sweep a lot of things under the carpet and just give a lot of special effects. But the real great movies are independent films. They're the best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they are. A lot of them are really the best. But hey, it's always fun to see a good movie. Well, it's always fun to see a good movie. I mean, today I don't get to see many good movies. I get to hear about a lot of good movies, a lot of good books. Get to meet the authors of them and all. That's always fun. But there's not that many good movies out there.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an okay TV series.
The Captain America movie with the Falcon taking over the role of Captain America was very good. A lot of people said it sucked. I thought it was quite entertaining.
Wait, which movie are you talking about? The guy that was playing in Altered Carbon. Well, I like the guy, but I didn't like him as Captain America. I thought he sucked. But
I thought he was fantastic. He got.
I thought now in Altered Carbon, I think he is fucking fabulous. I think he played. I think he's a good actor. I just didn't think there was something about it. Maybe I'll rewatch. It's been a while, and there was something about it originally I didn't like, but I liked him in Altered Carbon. He played the role really well. He didn't fuck around. He
You
did
should
his
you should
job.
rewatch the Captain America with him as
He's,
Captain Falcon. It's pretty damn good.
but he's not Captain America, man.
He
Maybe
is.
that's what the problem. Maybe that's what the problem.
It's an actual. There's an actual crossover at the end of the Infinity Saga where Captain America gives him the shield. And he's like, "This is yours."
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
which how can he hold that shield up, man? I mean, he's not got superpowers or nothing.
You watch and you tell me that he doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah, I don't believe you. He said he don't have superpowers. I mean, he's just an everyday sporty guy,
I
man.
think they injected him with something and he doesn't know about it, but he gets beaten within an inch of his life at least twice.
Oh my God. Well, if we're talking superheroes, let's talk about John Cena. What is he now? His new movie out? That he's some Marvel character? Did you hear about that?
I like John Cena. He's funny.
Well, he has a new movie out, and he's supposed to be a superhero.
I'll tell you what it is. I'm looking him up right now on
Yeah.
IMDb.
Lord.
No, you know what? You start talking about superheroes. Why not? I can join. I'm geeky for that.
Well, he also was in the Suicide Squad too. It was DC superhero or villain.
Suicide Squad, I went back and forth on. I liked it, and it's like Wolverine and what's his face, what's his name? What's it? He
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well, what was his name in the thing? Get out of here, dog.
You talk about Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, what was I know it was Wolverine and
it was Wolverine versus Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't remember Deadpool. It's that movie went back and forth too. It had some good spots. It had some spots.
I didn't like one of those over the top things.
Yeah, I didn't like Suicide Squad at all. I thought it was boring.
Yeah, I was up in the air on it. I was up on the air on this last movie with Wolverine. It's kind of like when Loki's series came out. I was kind of like,
Yeah, I tried to watch that too.
Could be good. It could be good, but it's not going to be good. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too picky in my old age. I'm going to blame it on
it's
Mike.
not that. It's not that at all. What it is Hollywood gives movies and they hope they don't stick to the fucking wall, and it don't stick to the wall sometimes.
Yeah, they haven't. Well, Hollywood really doesn't exist anymore. So I had interviewed Maya Brass a couple of weeks back when I was out in L.A. And the thing of it is after talking to her, because I went to talk to her about Hollywood. I wasn't going to talk to her about the fires, and the riots weren't happening yet. So I just asked her, how are you going to save Hollywood? Because right now, currently, about 61% of all movies and TV are made in Atlanta now. What's not being made in Atlanta is being made in New Orleans, and what's not being made there is being made in Canada. Yeah. So there's only a trickle of stuff left in LA, 8%, maybe 12%, and that's it. And let's be honest, LA can't survive on that. They need at least 50% of Hollywood movies to be there, or the place is going to collapse. So when I asked her about it, she was kind of like, well, it'll all come back. No, Atlanta don't fuck around. They said Atlanta would never keep the hub. Yeah, Atlanta's got the Delta hub, and not only that, it's quadrupled the size of its city.
Oh, but you forgot something, Joe. Do you know that the new Hollywood is in Vegas? Mark Wahlberg opened up all those studios.
Yeah, well, that's it. That means Hollywood ain't going to get anything because Atlanta's taking over. They might as well get over that. Atlanta's got the water, they got the oceans, they got the mountains, they got the city. And then they got a lot of old stuff. And what they can't find there, they can find in Savannah or New Orleans. So,
well, they filmed they filmed Cobra Kai out there, the TV show.
Yeah,
that was filmed in Atlanta. Some of it was shot in LA, but even in Canada, Canada's got everything. They got desert there. They got everything there. They don't really need to, because nobody wants to pay those outrageous prices to film there. It's crazy.
Well, right now Canada's in a doghouse, so that'll keep them out of it for a while. But
yeah,
but that ain't going to keep New Orleans and Atlanta out of it. So you want me to tell you how Atlanta kicked LA in the nuts?
Yeah.
They gave the industry a 1% tax. So Newsom said, "Oh, I'm going to match the tax with Atlanta, and that way they don't have to leave." When he found out what Atlanta gave, he liked to shit. He's like, "There's no way we can give them a 1% tax." I think they're charging like 12%. He said, "There's no way we can give them 1%." And New Orleans charges 8%. So the thing of it is you can't really beat that. And when you got all the mountains and the snow and all you need, and the Ozarks are right there, you have beautiful scenery. Then you've got the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, all that stuff from old homes. It's just
The Gulf of
it's
America.
it's just
America.
yeah, the Gulf or
Gulf of
something down
America.
there.
God bless Donald Trump.
I was messing with somebody today. They had a couple just moved in from South Korea into the United States, and I was talking to them. They've been here 4 months, and he kept calling the Gulf of Mexico. I said, "You better watch it if you come down south." He's like, "Why?" I said, "It's the Gulf of America to them." He's like, "Really? Already?" I said, "The Southern's like their president. It's the Gulf of America." And he's like, "Wow." Like, yeah, you get your ass kicked over there. I know Kung Fu. He said, "They don't care if you know Kung Fu." He said, "Why?" I said, they know 45 and 9mm. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I was like, yeah. Or they'll just run you over a fucking truck. I mean, this is not what you're used to dealing with. I can tell you already. It's a different world.
Hey, are you from Canada?
No, I'm from born and raised in Hollywood. But
Hollywood?
but the Jersey, the New York accent at times is because my dad was from Jersey.
Oh,
and the reason why I talk about Canada is because I told you the ufologist David Sarita, he's from Nelson, Canada, and he was telling that like they're doing a lot of filming up there. In fact, Netflix has their corporate office, I think, is in Canada. So they're straying away now because the price of getting licensing and this that it's just outrageous. You literally have to be a huge budget film to film in LA. You have to be. It's just, I mean, you try to get an apartment in Hollywood, it's like $3,500 a month for a small studio. I mean, California just went out of control.
Dang.
We lost Joe. Joe went to get a pizza.
No, I was thinking, when you're in LA, I know quite a few people in LA, and I rarely run into any of them. Like, even when they know I'm there, I rarely run into any of them. It's kind of funny. I run into a lot of other people and people I'm associated with doing work stuff and all, but I don't really run into. That's weird. The more I think about it, because LA is not really that big of a town. I mean, it's kind of broke up, but it's not really that big of a town.
Well, I plan to move back there like the end of the year. I was thinking Orange County, like maybe Newport Beach or something like that. But I kind of like Hollywood because that's.
Man, they're going to deport you. You better not go back there.
I'm sorry?
They're going to deport you. They're going to send you back to Italy, man. They're going to get the fuck out the country.
I know.
They're going to deport you, ass. I'm telling you, man. They're going to deport you.
I know because we got that olive skin and the dark hair.
That's right. They're gonna say you're gone. Who are you? We don't believe you, man. We're deporting you, man. Giuliani be in Italy going, how the hell am I getting back to the United States?
I know. I don't know. I'm here to make a Valentino movie. Come on, man. You're great. But I tell you something. It really stems from I watched Godfather Part 2. Do you remember the governor? What was his name? And remember Godfather 2? That guy, the corrupt guy that was sitting in Michael Corleone about the gambling license. Remember that guy? Do you guys see Godfather 2? We got any Italians?
Long time ago.
Yeah,
okay.
A long time ago.
Well, the point I'm making to you is that there was so much racial, kind of a thing going on for Italians. Like we weren't really Italians. We had dark hair, dark features. We were never really. It's funny how Italians have been kind of we were in a weird spot, and so we really had to prove ourselves, that we were really Americans. And so you're right. I could go to LA and they can say, oh, you're Mexican. You're going back to Mexico. I'm not Mexican. I'm Italian. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Giovanni be calling us from San Juan. What the hell? How we get down here, man?
Hey Joe, can you set bail for me though? I'm 29 people. I don't know.
I know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's dangerous in LA right now in lots of ways. Not just because you might get the people go, oh man. A friend of mine said, "You think I'll get deported?" I said, "Man, you kind of look like you Mexican." He's like, I said, "You U.S. citizen, right?" He said, "Yeah, but." He said, "I'm looking like I might get deported."
Yeah, just don't go to the beach and don't get a tan. I'll make sure that when I go back from the Philippines, I'm all by the beaches, and so I'll make sure not to get tan before I go back. I'll get really white. I'll make sure.
Well, he said he's been stopped like 3 times, but he's got his driver's license when you run it in. He's born and bred and he's raised there, so he's kind of like, but he's still like, man. He said, I don't like to go out the house. He said, I don't like to go to the grocery store. He said, now he tells me all the time. He goes, I go to rich people's grocery store. He said, why? He said, because they ain't gonna raid them.
Yeah, we all. That's the fun part, right, guys? To go to the supermarket and get those good deals, right?
There's a lot of people down there worried. I was talking with John Goodwin a little while ago. He's right there on Hollywood Boulevard. But I sent his wife and
You're friends with John Goodman?
Yeah, you don't know John, man?
Yeah, the big guy. The big Lebowski.
No, not him. You think a different one. The John Goodwin's president of Galaxy Press.
Oh, okay.
You thinking about the other one. He's been on the show before, the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Good Wind versus Good Mun.
Yeah, but he's definitely been on the show before. So it's well, we had like John Elite on. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I might ask Johnny Elite. I might come. That was the Gibbiano's what's his name's hitman, his personal hitman. And he came on. He did what was it? 5 years in a Brazilian prison and 4 years in a Brazilian prison and 5 years in a Turkish prison. I wouldn't want to fuck with this guy.
No.
Wow. I gotta be honest with you about talking about Hollywood. Talking about Dan Aykroyd again. That guy is like a whirlwind of information. He's like a walking encyclopedia. I mean, he knows everything about everything.
He's this kind of person. He likes to be informed. And now that he's not acting anymore, I bet you he's bored.
Oh yeah.
No, he's making all that money from that Crystal Skull vodka,
Yeah.
And and I think that's like talking about that thing about the Dan Aykroyd Unplugged. Though, I mean, there's so many things going on in this world that we can't explain, though, and a lot of people think that the world is just what we see outside the door, and that they don't think beyond that point. Like, when was the last time we talked about Area 51 again? Have you ever been to Roswell?
Yeah, I've been to Roswell several times. I've actually spoke at Roswell.
And what do you think about? Do you think that shit really went down in 47?
Actually, it wasn't. Roswell was more complicated than people make it out to be. One, whatever landed in Roswell was probably an escape craft or a pod or some shit. It looks like that at least the big craft landed in Corona or somewhere around there. Just came down in one piece and landed somewhere in Corona. And there was actually bodies found there, but the bodies found there were different than the bodies found at the other one. And Jay says there was a third spot. So
yeah, one that landed somewhere within the compound of either Sandia Labs, Alamogordo, or White Sands. And that's where the military responded immediately. That was the first one they went to because it was the closest to them, which is why the other two, the other three sites we know about in Nevada, it took them so long to get to those places because they spent 2 or 3 days or 4 days cleaning up that site, and then they went to the Corona, and then the Brazel Ranch, and then the further one in Roswell.
Yeah, that whole thing we all know about, that whole alien autopsy, that was all bullshit.
Yeah, alien autopsy was probably bullshit. From what I could see, and the people I talked to, they said it was all bullshit. But
it doesn't look like 47. I heard there's a writer. His name is Philip.
Oh, you're breaking up, baby.
Oh yeah, sorry. It was made like in the 70s or 80s, and it was all fake. It was all fake. That's the thing about it, though.
How do you know it's fake?
Well, the guy said that they knew about some of the people that were involved in this staged alien autopsy, that it was in somebody's house that they did this in, and that they got the props of the aliens from some kind of somebody made them, and it was just a bunch of bullshit to make people believe in that Roswell incident happened. So they just did it, I don't know, but they said it was done in somebody's house. It wasn't actually in a laboratory. It was made in the 70s, not in the 40s. And there's a book about it, by Philip Mansell. So.
Well, I don't know.
One thing they got right, whether they were guessing or they heard a rumor, in Philip Corso's book, he does speak about an alien technology which is essentially a contact lens, but this contact lens is also more like a interactive cell phone screen heads-up display that can be operated by the eyeball, so it's like a computer in their eye.
Mm-hmm.
And also allegedly enhanced optics as well, but we don't have that technology. But the contact lens and the heads-up display, so that's where we got the ideas from. That the Philip Corso book, The Day After Roswell. He
Well,
speaks
don't our
exactly about
pilots have that
the
thing?
implants that take off the eyes.
Don't our pilots have that now? Our
The
air
F-22
pilots?
Raptor pilots have those, yes.
Yeah.
They have the sock, yeah. That's the little thing that comes down that you see out of.
I guess you're not allowed to drink beer or whiskey.
The F-22 pilots have something a little different. It actually is a full mask that fits in. But the helicopter pilots and all of them, they get this little thing sits like this. Oh yeah, well y'all can't see it on here, can you? What the hell? Why is this thing off? Okay, so it's a little thing that fits over like this. It comes down and fits down. And let me tell you what, you have to master that. It's not easy as y'all think it is. It takes, that's one of the reasons they said that accident happened in DC, because she was flying with that. It's not the easiest thing to master. I've played with them before. They're not, I mean, you can master them, but it takes time and confidence.
Hey, Joe, I got a question to ask you. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
It's okay,
I
what?
got a question to ask you guys, and maybe you can kind of tell me what this is. I don't know, but back in Vegas, I had gotten a phone call from a friend who's very big on UFOs and stuff like that. You know, Vegas, Henderson, whatever. We have a lot of UFO. There was a lot of UFO sightings there, though. Got a question for you. Do they have what is known as is it actually is it digital advertisement in the sky at night, or those UFOs that are doing those things in the sky with blinking eyes and shit? Is that our stuff, or is that what is that? Is that, do you know anything about that? Is that like droid or something where people are just projecting stuff into the sky at night, or those UFOs? What is that?
I know since the 90s, they've been able to put holograms in the sky.
Yeah, because one had they were changing images in the sky, and then also that blinking eye was blinking.
Now the new ones are actually drones.
So you think that might have been a drone and not something extraterrestrial?
So no, drones are just drones. What they do, they'll fly up about 500 of them at one time. They're all synced together, and then they make dragons out of them and shit. They do all kinds of stuff with them.
Yeah.
They're cool. They do a lot of cool stuff with them. They're the new firework is what they are.
But I mean, this thing stretched for quite some. I mean, when I got off the freeway, I could see it way in the distance, and it seemed like it would just go on and on and on, and it would change forms. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the era, what year. But there's several like those. Well, there's one in Mexico where several years in a row there was huge flaps of like hundreds of UFOs over the Mexican city skyline. There's of course the Phoenix lights in '96, which was allegedly one craft, but it spread out over like 1.5 miles wide or something. People thought it was. Then you have, I mean, there's flaps all the way back to going across the White House in '52 and '53. Like exactly a year apart, in June and July of this, like the year apart, right. 53, there was a flap of 15 UFOs went right across. I mean, there's pictures of them in front of or above the White House, above the Washington Monument, and above the, where the Senate building is.
Well, I think this was about 2022. I think. This is about 2022.
Yeah. It could. Then in that case, that like Joe said, it could be anything. I'd have to see what the video is, but
yeah, 2022. I'm
large
thinking
aren't unknown. They're just people don't like to talk about them because they're unexplained.
I don't know what it was. Is it looked like then there was it looked like there was like a glitch, like they were trying to. It looked like something that was downloading. It kept repeating and repeating and repeating. And then it would go to. Digital designs, and then there was one that looked like an eye, and it sat there, was blinking, and you could see the blue eyes. I was thinking if that was just advertisement or something. I don't know what it was, but in all the places I've been in the world, though, I have never seen more strange things in the sky than in Nevada.
Well, Nevada
there's a lot of strange shit out there.
Places where we keep very good technology that we don't want people to know about. our technology, and the U.S. government loves the fact that the UFO incidences that are also high in that area help mask some of their activities.
Right. That's I don't. That's why I guess they call it unidentified, because we don't know what it is. I mean, like,
Well,
I mean,
it's now, they changed it to, it's now WAP, UAP, and we don't know how to pronounce it. WAP, UAP, WAP, but it's stupid. It's not UFOs anymore.
No, most of us is still UFOs. And if
Yeah.
you got to use UAP, I'm calling it YAP. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I know. It's not a Y, but that U is going to be a Y now. It's going to be YAP.
Yeah,
It's,
and then during one last thing, and then during the day and towards sundown, you got all these chemtrails all over the place. I mean, the sky is just like filled with chemtrails all over the place. You know, it's amazing.
Well, you gotta count the time they last, and you got to see if they uncurl. And I mean by that, you'll notice on the chemtrail, the cloud will start uncurling like this. Those are done by a particular type of engines, but the other ones you count the time to see how long it dissipates, because some of those are sprayers. It just depends. Because some of the some of the chemtrails are not chemtrails; they're actually trails left behind by some type of engines we're using. Technically, they're experimental engines, but they've been around a long time, so I don't know why they call them experimental anymore.
Yeah, there's a big controversy about what they are. Are they extraterrestrial? Are they ours? Why are they up there? There's all these.
That's a big guess if it's ET or not. But I mean, humans aren't as stupid as we give ourselves credit for. I mean, we're actually not quite that as dumb. But
no, but the only one strange contrail was the one that went from Antarctica, from the bottom of the planet to the top, to the North Pole. Remember that one?
I don't remember that one, Zach.
It's fairly recent. It was featured on Mr. Hare's show. And so allegedly, like, this contrail, they have some footage of it. It went not equator wise, but counter equator wise, from the Antarctica to the North Pole. And I think the footage they have of the long stretch of this contrail is over the South American continent.
Well, that's weird. I don't know if I've ever heard of that one before.
Like I said, it's fairly recent, within the last probably 10 years or less.
So where's everybody else from? I mean, besides Joe, I know where Joe is. I know where I'm at. Where are you from? Are you back east somewhere?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I'm also in Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania, Waynesboro.
Oh, that's funny, because my father was on American Bandstand in '58.
Oh, cool.
In Philly, and Pennsylvania. I was up. I had to go up to a place called. It was up in Lehigh Valley. Do you know that area?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's out east. Yeah,
that's near me.
Yeah, and I went up to what's that place called? I think it was like near then I went up to a place called Jim Thorpe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and and Jim Thorpe is like an old mining town or something like that. I think it's the
it is, but it's also big for the railroad too.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I mention that is because Pennsylvania's had their fair share of UFO stuff as well, and it's just all over the place.
Well, we're ranked in the top 10 for cryptids and UFOs. We are.
Wow. What was that story? Was it in Pittsburgh where the military put this UFO in the back of a lift or something? They would go into the street.
Kecksburg,
1965. Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember that. I mean, how much more conspicuous can you make it? Like, it's got it's a sheet over it, and I mean that's
Well,
I mean,
I know people that would debate that sucker for. That's a 5-hour show there on the debate. Yeah. But no, do you remember when the plane went down in the Allegheny River? It was a B-2 during World War II, I do believe, and it went into the Allegheny River, and they came in at night and picked it up and put it on a barge and went down the river with it. It's a really big story in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I heard about you guys have got. I mean, there's but I spent I don't know. I was there a couple of years ago, and then I was there up in Earlville and not Earlville. I mean, in Jim Thorpe and stuff, and that's called Carbon County, I think. And Very, very, very interesting place, though. But I was just thinking about that incident, though. So I meant, you guys ever thought about moving out west, getting some sunshine? Are you happy where you're at? Or?
Honestly, I'm in 3 years. I'm retiring, and I'm getting an RV, and I'm going out west.
Okay, you're gonna move to Roswell, huh, and do some UFO hunting?
No, I'm going to go to Idaho, Montana, Colorado. I like the gold prospect.
Oh well, that sounds like fun. I will mention this quickly before my phone dies that in the Philippines during World War II, that the Japanese had hid a bunch of treasures here, and it's called the guys. He was the guy that basically came into the Philippines and everybody was slaughtered. He ruled over things, and it's called the I forget the. I'm trying to think of the name of the treasures, but it's just all this treasure that they stole from other countries, and they put it, a lot of it, they hid it in Cebu, Philippines. They hid it in other parts of the Philippines, and I think it's called, I forget the name of the guy, but anyway, I'm talking like gold bars and all these places. So in the 60s or something like that, though, one guy found some of the treasure hidden, and it had like a golden Buddha with like gems in it and stuff like that. But Marcos, the president at the time, stole it, and Philippines has got so much gold. Or also, this is the place. Now, I'm not too far from Mactan. I am in Mactan, where the Battle of Mactan, where Ferdinand Magellan fought Lapu-Lapu, and there's a lot of treasure. So there's a lot of treasure hunters that come to the Philippines just to find gold and Spanish coins, everything.
Cool.
Telling you. So you might want to come to the
Philippines.
Philippines.
Not west. Colorado.
Colorado's got a lot of gold, I heard too.
Yep.
But I think we lost Joe. Joe's missing.
No, I'm right here, babe.
Oh, hi, Joe.
I ain't went nowhere. My buddy went nowhere.
Let's talk about Italian cuisine.
Oh yeah.
Meatball.
I actually have a fairly decent recipe for bolognese, which is really good.
Wow.
Yeah, so I use three kinds. There's two ways to do it. Well, the cheat way is you go to the store and you get what's called meatloaf mix, which is usually ground beef and ground pork, ground together. I get a pound of ground beef, a pound of ground lamb, and a pound of ground veal, and I mix the 3 pounds together with some spices and some other Italian secrets, and then I boil it in a red pasta sauce for an hour or so while I cook the noodles, and it's good enough that it'll make you want to kick your mama. I don't recommend that you kick your mama, but it'll make you want to do it. It's that good, and it's enough to make your dinners and lunches for work for at least 5 days.
Wow, you can't go wrong. You can't. It's funny that my great grandmother, her name was Grazia Maria. She was from Calabria, Italy, and back in Jersey. When in the 40s or something like that, they were having some rough times. It was a little bit after the Depression and stuff. So she used to make these huge pots of pasta. My dad got so sick of eating spaghetti every day, but that's what it was in those days. He used to make a huge pot, and it would last for like weeks. Huge, big, huge pots of pasta. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, my recipe gives you enough to make. You can have lunch and dinners for 5 days. That's 10 meals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I can go 3-4 days on pasta if I had to, but pasta bolognese is a good one, That's
it better be good pasta. Then you just go into crappy pasta.
Yeah,
but what you can also do though, you don't have to use the same pasta all the time. You make the bolognese, and then one day you boil a cup of like rigatoni. The next day you use penne. The next time you use like capellini. It doesn't matter what kind of spaghetti you use. But I usually use the spirally ones. I think it's called rigatoni. No, rotini. Sorry, rotini. Yeah, rotinis. Because the little spirals, they grab little pieces of meat, and then the other one is the rigatoni, which is like tubes. Which the tubes they tend to suck up a lot of the meat, so it's like having a meat cannoli in a really good red sauce.
Oh yeah, well this is the thing about it. Never ever buy pasta sauce from store. Make it on your own. Get your nice off the vine tomatoes, smash them up with garlic and all the spice, and you don't have to worry about all those all those food colorings and all that crap. Make your own pasta sauce. Don't buy that crap in the store. It's loaded with shit, and that's the way to do it, though. I mean, Joe's the master chef, right, Joe?
Damn right I am, baby.
Now, Joe, are you Calabrese, normally Don? Are you
See,
Sicilian?
when that's why I don't cook for women. When I do, they just fall in love.
That's it. Are you Calabrese, normally Don, Sicilian? What are you, Joe?
I'm a mutt, man. That's what I am. Actually, to be honest with you, I am 37% Irish, Italian, Welsh, and 26% Italian.
That's
good.
And
my family comes out of Venice. My wife's family comes out of Sicily, and she's more like 50%.
Oh, Siciliano.
So it's we real Italian. We real Italians. Hey, wait! Now I gotta get. Where were we? We gotta talk about Trump. We only get like an hour now.
Oh yeah, and we're 8 minutes past break also. But
no, man, we don't fuck the break. We ain't taking no stinking break.
Hey, Joe.
Breaks.
My phone is going to go out in 42 seconds.
Yeah, get your ass out here. You know where we at.
Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate being on your show. Thank you so much for letting me talk about my film and let people come and visit me. And Joe, we'll be in touch, and that link is available for people to look at now, right?
Yeah, just hit me up and let me know what's up, babe.
Okay, man, I will. And thanks for putting the link up for me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. We'll leave it up till we're done.
You got it, brother, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right, be good. Yeah. Okay, man. Now, what was I saying? Oh, so I know we said this last night, but I got to say this again today. So I'm listening to the 5 NATO chiefs, the big chief guys. Yeah, the big guy. Oh, I'm fucking in charge of NATO. Oh my God, thank you, Trump. You saved us. We're going to be the best NATO ever. So 26 countries or 32, how many ever it was, they're going to put 5% of their income into NATO. This is going to be the biggest, baddest NATO to ever exist. And they're going to start off, I think, with 2% or 3% this year. So this NATO is going to be beastified. So in the old days where they could fight a little bit and have to rely on America, now these bitches will be able to fight their own war. And if they get in trouble, America will be there fresh and ready to come knock some motherfucker in the face. So it looks like what it should be. But the best part was hearing that woman in charge of UE said that he saved Europe. They said he saved NATO. She said he saved Europe. And he was the only man that could do it. She also said the other night that he was the only man that could launch the strike on Iran and walk away the way he did. The only man, and bring ceasefire. He was the right guy for the right job at the right time. I'm just getting stunned.
I mean, yeah, the guy's got scapegoat written all over his forehead. It's in orange ink, so you can't see it. But yeah, I mean, mine and yours first gut reaction was, "Oh God, that was the stupidest thing he could have ever done." World War II is going to happen in the next 48 hours.
Well, I didn't know World War II was going to happen, but I figured that he was just going to piss. See, Trump has a way of getting his own self in trouble, like with the Democrats in Canada. There wouldn't be Carney wouldn't be in there. If he would have just waited 2 weeks to do the tariffs, Carney wouldn't be there. Pari Polyev would be there. He would be the guy, but he didn't. So as soon as he did that, they nationalized and said, "Oh, look, they're trying to do this and that," and then he got elected. The Democrats in Canada were lower than the Democrats are here right now and came back and won.
Yeah, but if the King of England or the next King of England, William, whether it's Charles or William, sells us the country, all tariffs are off the board. It's
I say just give us Canada, give us Greenland. We'll now be the largest land mass on the planet.
The Netherlands owns Greenland, right? So we have to talk to them, not England.
Yeah, we got to talk to them. Well, what's his face keeps saying it's going to be a war. Vance keeps saying we're just going to go take it. There's only 58,000 people there.
If any one of you guys has ever played Risk, if you want to hold America, you got to keep all your troops in Alaska, Hawaii, and Greenland, so that they can't jump across from Europe and hit you.
We'll see what happens. But Greenland won't be anything. They'll just they'll break it up into states one day, but it don't have enough population to worry about, so it'll be a Commonwealth.
But it's an excellent strategic launching point for Air Force and naval assets.
Well, we want to put missiles there.
It's also a good place to put a bunch of missile launchers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
Europe is right across the water there.
and we want to expand our Space Force base there. So, I mean, he knows he wants to do a lot of this stuff, and then he wants to get Canada because Canada is just a pain in the ass. So Canada gets to spend all their money on whatever they want to because they don't have to spend money on defense because they know we will come to their ass because we can't let China invade Canada because then it's right above us. And they know that. I mean, I've heard several of the big politicians actually say that. So how do you put the squeeze on them to make them behave? I mean, we can't just keep dumping money into Canada. We can't keep defending their asses if we're not getting anything in return.
Yeah, I mean, it's a vast territory where most of the territory is, unoccupied, persona non grata. It's all nature, wildlands.
Yeah, that's why we keep them ghost ships up there.
Well, it makes it pretty hard to find, enemies coming from that direction.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why they keep them ghost ships up there. So there's 3 or 4 harbors up there that have no people in them. They just got ports, and that's where our ghost fleet is. We used to be just one ghost fleet. Now they've got it broken up. It's big. I don't think people realize how big the ghost fleet is. And ladies and gentlemen, ghost fleet is a fleet that operates on its own. There's no people on board.
Pre-programmed drones, naval drones. And what's the number? 35 or 55 ships?
No, it keeps growing every time I hear it. So I don't know.
Last was 55 or 35. That's the last number I remember.
So we're building a damn drone fleet that. The only reason we even found out about it because Alaska was bitching about it.
Old decommissioned, old frigate boats and stuff, and putting, robotic devices in it. Is that how they're doing it?
Some of it, that's how they're doing. Some of it, they're doing other ways. Some are being freshly built with new composite, so you can't see them.
Stealth ghost drone navy. Really?
That's what they're doing
already. I bet you they have one already.
Oh, they do. They got 55 of them, or so. They got a bunch of them right now. There's a whole fucking fleet of them.
Yeah.
And
the latest reported number is 55.
Now they're talking about adding drone carriers to them.
Launching aerial drones.
Something tells me if we're going to do this, we need to keep people on board.
Is it going to recover said drones as well?
No, these are attack drones. Well, some drones are recovering, yeah, but not all the drones. Some drones are attack drones. They don't expect to get them back, but it can recover its drones, yeah.
Yeah, if it's an attack drone, you expect it to explode.
They were showing the one ship recovering these water drones. It looked like fucking torpedoes, but they were drones. They came back in.
Funny in those Ukraine videos when they launched the drone attack on the bombers. It was like watching from a bug's point of view. It was like.
But think about this. Think about this, Jay. That drone attack was with drones you can buy at your local store, except they had different kind of lithium batteries so they could fly longer. But that was it. And they just tied the bomb on.
Yeah, they probably had to increase their lifting capacity so they could put a bomb or two on it, or some C4 and some electronics.
Yeah, and basically that's what they were doing was either a C4 or something lighter than that. They were just strapping it on.
Cool to watch those videos. It was like watching from the bug's point of view when it landed on that bomb, and then the screen went, like snow when it blew up.
One of the guys one of the mercenaries said they were strapping 4 and 5 cell phones together and using those to fly them because he said cell phones were keeping 12 and 14-hour battery time, so why not use those? I was like. That works for me. Plus, he said you could turn the phone into a guidance system. Yeah. Who would know that cell phones and paper drones would be what took over the world? Holy shit. It's a different world, that's for sure. And the only thing I worry about with this is that China goes crazy and starts producing, thousands of drones a day.
Right, but it's exactly how they predict the future in the Terminator franchise. It's like, 2029. Well, we're coming up on it, but that's when they have like robotic flying drones with like high-powered plasma lasers that find human beings and incinerate them instantly upon sight.
Yeah. Well, I don't, you never know, man. You never know. What's that cliff? No, you never know. I did see some good new poll numbers for Trump. And what's this spacecraft that we recovered the other day? Who did this belong to? They just said we recovered a spacecraft from somebody or somewhere. They sent
All
out
I
the
know is
Navy
there
to
was a piece
recover
of
it.
spacecraft debris that went through someone's house in Missouri.
In Georgia, or well, there's something went through in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, somewhere down there. And then whatever debris it was embedded itself in the flooring of like the structure hit somebody's house, and that's all I heard. I didn't hear anything else of what it, if it took the structure, the stuff, and had it analyzed or what. But
That might have been stuff. Okay. Oh, go ahead, man.
What are you doing, Joe?
Fucking with somebody. The end of the world as we know it. We're gonna all die by fucking plastic drones.
REM.
Ain't that crazy though? Dying by a drone.
We're gonna die and death by drone.
Yeah, but that'd be crazy.
You know what's funny about it? The very first drone I ever bought. First thing I said to my wife, "Wow, you could strap bombs onto these things." Very first thing I ever said. I was like, that was a long time ago, man. That's before they were even hardly flying around. That's back when they had a flight time of 15 minutes. Now, who knew you could fly them for hours now? That's insanity.
So it depends on the size of the battery, and I mean, if you had one that used like an RC motor that uses like a gas oil mixture, they can.
Well, you know, and that's another thing. Some of them do fly with gas. By the way, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but I found
some
out
of them
the
do.
other.
Predators or some of them are gas or diesel, even whatever they use them. Jet fuel, JP1, JP2, something like that.
And isn't it? See, it's real hard for me to grasp that we got F-22s that are protecting these drones, or F-35s, whatever.
We have F-22s that are being protected by drones.
Yeah, that's going to be more like it.
That's crazy.
That's going to be. Oh wait, now we're going to have an F-36. What?
No, I haven't, Kurt. Not having a chance to yet.
Was that the 13th generation Mike was talking about the other day?
We're right now in 6th gen is where we are.
Yeah, 6th generation fighter craft.
Yeah, and then these are supposed to go out into space, but this is the new F-36. They weren't even talking about this. They were talking about, what was it, this 47 or something the other day.
The X-47 we were talking about a couple shows ago, yeah.
Yeah. So this is something new.
But the X-47, wasn't it electric?
No, I don't think it's electric.
We were talking about a whole bunch of prototypes that were going to be the next, the next generation fighter craft or multi-atmospherical craft, and one of them was electric.
Let's see. Let's just put this on here. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. No, I don't want to save it. I want to put it on the screen.
Delta wing? No, yes, it is. It's a China Delta wing.
It's
cool.
One engine. Oh, I'm never happy when they do one engine.
One engine?
That's what it looked like before it took off.
Mid-engine chined wing.
And there it is. That's supposed to be the F-36.
Oh, what is it? A bomber or a spy craft?
Well,
XLA. Experimental.
We don't care about the F-15. Oh, they're already building this thing, huh?
Look at the structure on that thing. Holy cow.
With a 3D plastic printer. Oh, man, let's not fly this plane. This might fall apart in the air. Oh, there's the engine.
Terrible fan. It's not a scram or anything because it's not on a sled.
That was a Mach 2's engine a Raptor's engine at Mach 2. Because remember, Raptors don't have turbo thrust, so that they can't be seen.
They have vectored thrust for one thing ting
Yeah, that's what they got. They had vector nozzle. It's so they can't be seen.
Hey Joe, Heidi sent me a thing to send to you. Check your messenger.
All right.
Check your messenger. It's from Heidi.
All right. That's what the F-36 is going to look like. That's a hunk of crap.
Oh, really? Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to mute my thing here for a second.
All right, let me. All right, let's get out of here. That's crapola. Crapsinola. That's not even what I was looking for when I came in here. They got all kind of funny stuff up here. Submarines breaking through ice, all kind of fun stuff. Not what I was looking for, though. Let me go back to the room so I can see. Where'd you send it? to my messenger? Can I get my messenger on here? Yeah, let me go.
Yeah, it's from Heidi.
Oh, well, let me open it. Well, I already got Facebook open. And what am I doing? Well, that's cool looking. Kind of weird looking, but cool looking. Let me see if I can put it on screen for everybody to see. Nope, wrong button there, Joe. I hit the entirely wrong button. Let's see, share screen. Share it up. Stop trying to save it. Damn. Know what button I keep hitting? Do. You know, where's the little blue box? Oh, it must be on a different screen. Okay, that's why. I was kind of wondering what the hell was going on there. Get out. Can y'all see it any better that way?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the devil farting. Is that what that was?
It's, or as Jeff would call it, a puss toot from his fart box or something like that.
It's kind of weird.
They're by clouds, I think.
Yeah, that's a tornado right there.
Yeah, fixing to be one. It's going the wrong way, though.
Hey, I hope there ain't no nudie pictures in here.
Well, that's what we were expecting.
Ooh, that's good.
Boobies in the clouds. I was expecting them, but...
Oh, look at that. It looks like somebody's face right there. With their hair blowing back. That's damn good. I have to save that. I want to look at that better on something else. That is crazy. It looks like there's a fist holding somebody. That was cool. Hey, you can't karate chop the tree. That's not right. That looks like a Klingon ship. Oh, wait. Now it locked up. What happened?
Maybe that's the last picture in that.
Oh, wait, no, there it goes. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's badass looking.
Yeah.
Say hello. Who's knocking on my door? Ooh, look at that one. That's a good. You know, that one might get a space shuttle, man.
Look at that. And the UH-60s?
Yeah, I see these bitches flying over my house all the time.
Yeah, UH-60s, yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't get a good enough look. What is this? Snow, ice, ash?
That looks like sand. No, that's snow and slush.
Yeah, that's kind of weird looking.
Yeah.
Storm front coming in.
They probably had a hailstorm and then all the hail just collected there. Yeah, see, there you go. Boom. Here's your culprit.
Look at them, huh? They look kind of smushed.
Hail,
this one looks like a gun with the little piece all bent out around it, like a bullet.
Like baseball size. That'll fuck your car up.
Yeah, I will too. Oh, I like the blue.
The portal.
Somebody's getting ready to eat you. Yeah, at least the air's pretty clean there, man. Look, the air must be pretty clean.
Size. Imagine 1,000 of them hitting your car. Blam!
I know you better punch it. I don't know. We came over. We were in D.C. It's like the third trip we'd made up there. And we were coming back one night. And we just come over the top of this mountain. And when we did, it just let loose ice, rain, wind. This poor rental car, thank God I had insurance on it. It was just dented up. The window was cracked up. It was oh, man. It was something else, just out of nowhere. Just as soon as we come over the top to him.
Weather up around this area. It's nasty sometimes.
That's
wet,
cool.
Nasty ice and crap.
A little raining.
There's a Bob Ross for you right there. Here's another one.
That was the coolest sight, being out at sea, watching it rain in like 7 different places.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. You're cruising along and it's just you're cruising along on it. You're sitting there. You're in the middle of all of it. It's kind of weird looking. Yeah, it's tearing some shit up.
As long as you don't run into that storm the Nimitz did in that movie that sends you back to World War II.
We ran into worse.
Hurricanes. We would ride the eye of the hurricane,
Oh yeah.
or we rode the odd side of the hurricane.
Yeah, the less windy side.
Yep.
Yeah, you had to be careful. Warren, I hear you down there, sweetie. Yeah, we still got a little while, and then you can go snore away. All right. Now this is distracting. I gotta go put this up before I keep doing this. I'll be sitting here looking at pictures all day. Oh, look at that cool picture. No, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, is this the one? Oh, wait a minute. Is this the one? This is the one. New poll: full extent of Trump's gains with minority voters. So they found out that with the Hispanics was much higher than they originally thought, and then they found out even if the Hispanics wouldn't have voted for him, he would have still won.
Yeah.
It's Trump he's just growing by leaps and bounds. You know, what is that? Pride cometh before the fall.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I just worry about him, man. Look, he seems. I mean, I was listening to him talk a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how that 4 years in between gave him time to prepare.
Yeah.
And it seems like he was prepared.
He's definitely on the ball, man. I don't know how he pulled this one off with Iran, but that was a huge calculated risk.
It was exactly that, a calculated risk, but he pulled it off. Okay, there goes the burglar alarm.
Or the food alarm.
Yeah, Trump 2.0 is better than imagined. Oh, look, that's just... They keep saying so much his head's going to explode, dude. I mean, the EU chick looked like she wanted to give him a blowjob right there. I was like, get out of here, man.
Well, it already seems like his head is swollen beyond proportions anyway.
Oh, I don't know. That I don't know about. I've met a lot of Hollywood people. It doesn't seem to be that bad, but...
I don't know. He seems fairly arrogant.
But that's not what the real people say about him, so we know that's not true.
But that's how he portrays him. He does seem to portray himself arrogant on television.
I don't really find him that arrogant anymore, except with news reporters and newspapers.
Well, when he used the F word, talking about Israel and Iran.
Yeah, because they had that coming. He said start a ceasefire, and they weren't going to fucking went and bombing each other again.
Yeah.
They had that one coming. But anytime Bill Maher goes into his house and comes out saying, "Hey, I like the guy," and we made a lot of headway, and he defends him on his show, you got to. And he's a staunch Democrat, and he's not the only one. You had several Democrats now. Come on, 128 Democrats voted against impeaching him.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not so.
Are they just saving their political career, or
that might be? Mm-hmm.
So look at the difference: 17, 15, 56, 42. Jesus, he pulled a lot more votes than anybody thought he was. They're saying that there should be more on the count than there is. But he pulled. They keep saying he pulled everybody but the educated people. They're going to keep that up. Democrats will never get an election again.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize how insulting that is when they say that. Just because you didn't go to college don't mean you're not educated, dumbass. They need to get off of that before that one bites them hard in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where is this? No, I want to edit the post. I want to take the post off. I got 3 of them. Yeah. No, damn it. I didn't want to do that either.
I know Democrats who are some of the most dumbest people I've met in my entire life, man.
No,
so
I have to.
I don't know why the hell they try to say that they're intelligent. It's one of those oxymoron things.
Yeah. Trump defies skeptics and conquers Europe.
What?
Yes, Trump defies skeptics and conquers Europe.
Huh.
Trump ain't playing around. He's doing what he thinks he should be doing, and it's working. You know, it's working for him, and it's working for us. And unfortunately, his worst guys hating on his economy thing came out today and said he might do it. He might turn it around, pull it around. Now, when your enemies are saying that, you got to go, oh, what the fuck? There's a Dems trying to do something to him. Ooh, go Dem, go. You better be careful, Dems, because he seems to be pretty hot right now. There you go. The economists admit Trump may have outsmarted everyone on tariffs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You can't have these big groups coming out and saying this.
Although he did just cut off all, trade talks with Canada.
Because Canada needs to learn taught a lesson.
Yeah.
Canada wants to play like they're big somebody. See, Canada, for some reason, Canada thinks they're somebody.
Yeah.
They have 30 or 42 million people spread out across territory. There's no way they can
I'll be
secure.
right back. I got to take the dog out. I think he's got to go potty, so I'll be back in a minute.
Go throw that dog out. I think we have German Shepherd dinner is what I'm thinking.
Oh, he might be hungry too. Yeah, but he's definitely got to go pee.
Let's
All right, I'll be back.
Wait, what is this one? Was this from last night's show?
Yeah, that's that rap thing you put on.
That's I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, I know her. I know him. I know her. Oh, these are two Democrats that said, we're out of here. And so, and that's the other thing. We need to talk about that. Let me get out of here. Keep looking at this stuff. So, was it George Soros, Mark Cuban, quite a few big Democrats, including Bill Gates, said no more money. So right now, the Democratic Party is cut off from money. It's so bad they're looking at ways to try to sue people. It's really they're cut off the money that bad. I mean, Trump basically said, "Look, you're out of here. We're done with y'all." Sorry, I had to get rid of that. It's over with. No more cookies for the Democratic Party. That little Chinese girl told him that. She was the one who used to go get all the money for him. And I was like 2 days after they lost, she left. She said, I'm out of here. And then since then, several other key people have left. And of course, we all know Biden's number one lie girl for me, she left.
Who was that?
The little Jean Pierre. She left.
Oh.
She's an independent now. And then you had 4 Democrats leave in the last 2 days. Pretty high up the ladder. So really what you ended up with is the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, and the Omars, and the Chuck Schumers, the Shitty Schiffs, and Nancy Pelosi. And everybody in the middle seems to be leaving. You can't keep acting crazy. The party doesn't want it anymore. They're like, no more craziness. Stop it. Go do something else. Leave us alone.
Wasn't Jasmine Crockett kicked out of the Congress?
No, they can't kick her out. She hasn't done anything wrong enough to kick out yet. They might be able to kick her out of the. They might be able to sanction her in Texas, but she's in the Congress, the real Congress, not the Texas Congress. So they got to kind of leave her alone for the most part, unless she does something more crazy, and then they can kick her out.
Well, they were saying that she was threatening Melania Trump. Is that true?
And now, if she threatens the first lady, she's going to jail. She'll be thrown out and going to jail. Mm-hmm. But I ain't heard nobody go pick her up yet, so it's and that'll be a big deal because they pick up people like that all the time. You can't threaten the president or the first lady or anybody for that matter like that. It's gonna do what? Can you open any of the screenshots?
For you, all right. Now I know you like talking about war and bombs and planes and stuff like that. Love you, man. What are you gonna do when there's all peace in the world now? What would you? I mean, where would you be if there was just peace?
Well, we just have to wait until the peace craze wears off.
No, I would talk about peace, love, and light stuff. So, it's funny. when I was growing up, I used to catch a lot of flack because I was a PLLer, a love, light, and laughter kind of person, and I believe still to this day that we can have peace, love, and light, but not with the current structure. It's just not going to happen. So if we were to go back to that, I would be happy because I'd go back to teaching and doing all kind of other fun stuff, traveling and seeing weirdos, watching big groups of women run around naked and stuff like that. The fun stuff, instead of watching bombs blow stuff up.
Right.
But unfortunately, right now, we're more worried about bombs blowing stuff up. And the reason we talk about it is because it's getting a little closer to home every day.
Yeah.
And so when Trump went over there and bombed Iran, that upped the game, that upped the ante. It allowed Putin to start thinking about what else he could do. So, and Putin's pretty close to us. Nuclear strike wise, he's 30 minutes away. That's it. 30 minutes and New York is gone. 40 minutes, Pittsburgh's gone. 60 minutes later, the top of Florida is gone. But he said he won't blow up the bottom of Florida because he really likes vacationing in Miami. So, no, seriously, that's what he said. He said he likes vacationing in Miami. So he'll save that to take over. But we're in a precarious situation. And then Xi Jinping's being so quiet. What is she doing?
Well, you know what? We were talking about that about last night on China and how supposedly our fleet is spread thin. Is not Japan not keeping an eye on China right now?
Oh yeah, Japan is, but Japan's fleet is limited. They're still under the War Powers Act, just like Germany is. They can only have X amount of military until we decide otherwise.
Basically, what it boils down to is a Coast Guard, really, and a very limited Air Force as well.
So in the beginning, they called it a peacekeeping force, and that's all they could have. Recently, we upped it to where they could have a defense force to defend their homeland. So, but now both Germany and Japan want to have weapons to go out after things. Yeah, I'm still not 100% on that. They are what they are. And Japan, Japan's a much different place than it was 80 years ago, but Germany's not.
Yeah.
I don't trust Germany as far as I can pick up their country and throw them.
Even with all our Air Force bases over there?
Yeah, we have 3 of them in Germany, I think.
I think.
I think, but we don't. I don't trust them. And well, like Jay was saying last night, we got one of them with nukes on it. Who's to say that one day Germany just won't get mad and nuke London and France and everybody else?
Yeah,
and go side with the Russians. I mean, we don't know that. I mean, there's no way we know.
Control of them.
Right now, we're worried about, what are these people doing? Germany's proven they cannot be trusted. 2 world wars, and there was wars before the world wars they caused.
I was the one that said they had nukes, and you argued with me.
No, we said they don't own the nukes. Germany doesn't have nukes. America has nukes in Germany. It's not the same thing.
But Germany's in control of them.
I don't think Germany's in control of them. When I looked it up, it said America has a code key for the nukes.
On the air, man.
No, it's you. Okay, Mike. There is no nuke on this planet that's not controlled by a code. Not one. Not a fucking nuke. Not even Russian nukes aren't. Okay, we don't give them the code until doomsday. That's how that works. We're not giving them. They can't go in their little suite and go and crack a code open.
They said that they can launch if they had to. So whatever.
No, not without permission. They can't.
They might be able to launch the rockets, but they won't be able to activate the nuclear warheads.
And I'm pretty sure it's more even sophisticated than that now.
Pentagon wrote, but whatever.
Now,
whatever.
All we gotta do is write Pete. Have Pete.
No, if the Pentagon had did that, they would be breaking their own rule. Actually, not just that, they would be breaking the Congress's rules. There's actually rules on engagement with nukes not inside of our country, like Turkey. Turkey's got nukes. And you think we're going to let fucking Egon have control of a bunch of nukes? Jesus, he'd already nuked the whole Middle East. Israel would be gone, Saudi would be gone, Dubai would be gone. Jeez, on Pete, man. That's the problem with having nukes and not having control of them. But even being there is dangerous enough. I mean, Germany's pretty good at hacking shit, so
Yeah.
Just being there is dangerous enough. And I remember it was a big deal when we put them nukes there. It was one of those things that they were like, Europe got upset about it, Russia got upset about it because I think they're 15 minutes from Russia.
It was all part of that Cold War, the 80s.
Yeah. And we have 1,700 nukes deployed right now,
Something like that, yeah.
and 2,500 or 2,800 or something ready to be deployed. I think the Russians are.
To be honest, the way I feel about it, I don't want to see a nuclear war, but I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared if it does happen. So why do I have to live in? Why do I have to live in fear?
Well, you shouldn't live in fear.
Nukes are going to come in. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to wake up and do what I do. And if I get nuked, I get nuked.
And odds are, if they use nukes, they're going to use them against Europe, not us. One, he has to use intercontinental ballistic nukes against us, so the odds of us shooting them down are great.
Yeah.
In Europe, he doesn't have to use intercontinental ballistics. He can use hypersonic missiles, which the odds of being shot down are poor. So there's a big difference there. And he always his goals have always been to conquer Europe. It wouldn't take that much. 10, 15 nukes in the right places, roll out all them tanks. They'd be all the way to France before they could stop them. And then NATO would have to jump in, and then, of course, the United States would have to jump in. Oh, that's another thing Trump made them sign. So technically, NATO didn't have to come to another country's. If somebody attacked a NATO country, not all countries had to go. Now they do. That was part of the new NATO, as they call it. They call it the new max NATO. Now, no matter what, all countries have to respond.
Huh.
That includes us, right?
That includes us. But since we're so big, we can have limited response. Marsha, you'd be surprised how many ships have nuclear weapons on them. Every aircraft carrier does. Most submarines carry at least 4 or 5 nukes on board. Oh, yeah, remember we talking about submarines, how many missiles they carry, right? And they're saying 12. So the other day, they were in which they launched 24, and then they went around the other side and launched more. So they launched almost 80 missiles, and they said they carry, 12? I was like, get the fuck out of here. How'd you come with that?
I think 36 was the biggest with the Seawolf. Carried 36 vertical stack.
That would be the high class, wouldn't it?
Seawolf.
So anyway, they end up, because I remember when Trump sent that submarine over there, and he launched 99 cruise missiles off of one submarine. So they just did it again doing the thing the other day. They went and launched, and then they went and launched again, same submarine. I forget, they launched 24, and then I think they launched 36. And the guy said they still had missiles. So, yeah, I don't, and I always wondered about that, because when you look at a cruise missile and you think about a submarine bay and you think them stacked on top of each other, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 per compartment. And you can bet your ass there's at least 2, maybe 3 compartments carrying them. So there's no way they're carrying less than 90 or 100. I probably less than 100 is probably as less as they go. But that's what we were talking about. You can never trust the Navy to give you accurate anything.
Yeah.
And I think they do it on purpose, because I think they want the Chinese and the Russians. Oh, they only got 12 missiles. They're going to be out of thing. Really, you just built a $4 billion submarine to go over somewhere with 4 missiles or 12 missiles on board, right? Yeah, I'm just not buying that. Sorry, guys. I don't want to be giving your secrets away, but I mean, come on. But I forgot what submarine that was that Trump used that night when he was having dinner with Xi Jinping. I'd have to look it up. Because all they said is it surfaced and went unloaded on Libya or wherever the hell it was, went back down and was gone. Nobody knew it was there. Nobody knew where it went. It was just gone. My favorite one is because Ronald Reagan did this and Trump did this. Just boom, 3 nuclear submarines popped up around China, the right side inside the Marshall Waters, I think within like 75 miles of the shore, and sat there until they were seen, and then they went underwater and left. Now China's building this ultrasonic thing to find our submarines. So they want to be able. They want to know where our submarines are.
We keep saying, Joe, that they're 20 years behind us in technology.
Yeah, I wonder about that sometimes because I've seen them put up some shit lately that they got a rocket that goes in space and can land now. They said it was going to be 20 years before they could do it. They did it in 5. So I'm kind of wondering what the actual difference is, because the problem is a lot of the stuff you look at looks like American technology. So what's going on is you have corporate companies selling them fucking technology. America's worst enemy is, well, corporations. Because there's definitely stuff you see over there that look like when the Russian built its shuttle. It was identical to our shuttle.
Yeah, almost identical.
Yeah, I mean,
it was the Chinese one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, these are things that you're looking at going, some of this technology came from us. And you remember what they found in it. Well, you remember what they found in those drones, right? American technology. And that Korean drone and that Iranian drone had American technology inside of it.
Remember when Toshiba sold those systems to China for their submarines?
So I mean, we know for a fact that our technology is being used by our fucking enemies. America needs to develop a whole new technology that nobody can get their sticky fingers on. And let's be honest, in hypersonic missiles, both China and Russia are ahead of the United States by about 3 or 4 years.
Communication devices and all the solar panels that they've sold
I know,
us.
you seen that? You seen that? Was pretty good.
They put those solar panels all over the U.S. Amazing, huh?
Yeah, they've been doing that. And then they found that. And then, of course, we know that, they sold all that baby formula was poisoned, that dog food that was poisoned. I mean, we should have nothing to do with China ever. We should cut them bitches off until they starve to death.
That sheetrock that destroyed people's businesses.
Yep, the Chinese sheetrock, yep. I mean, we really should get to the point where we just cut them off completely and starve them to death.
Should have been a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. We should have let Japan conquer them, because after we conquered Japan, they would have been ours.
They should have got Hong Kong back. When they got Hong Kong back, that was their big influx of cash. And look what they've done.
And not just cash, technology too.
Yep.
And that's why they want Taiwan so bad. Taiwan will even the playing field if they can take Taiwan.
Yeah.
And I really think there should have been some other deal with Hong Kong. They should have gave it to the Brits for another 100 years. So they could have, until they caught up. They should have never been able to get Hong Kong back until they were equal in technology as we were.
You should have said, no, we're not doing it. Change my mind.
You know what? And I don't know why Britain's a bunch of liberal freaks anyway. I would have said, you know what? I would have said, this is what I would have said. Look, I want to give you your island back. But currently, we have $100 billion, $600 billion invested in it. Give us our money, then you can have your island back.
Right.
I said, give us $2 trillion, and you can have your island back. Of course, China would have said, "Fuck you," and Britain would have said, "Fuck you." And everybody thought it was going to start a war, but there was no war back then. China couldn't afford anybody back then. They would have got their asses kicked. They'll get their asses kicked today. They'll just do a better job of having a war now. But I've heard two of Xi's generals come out and say that. He said maybe the Communist Party thinks they're ready for war. He said Xi Jinping knows they're not. He said, and I can tell you now that they would get their asses kicked in a heartbeat. He said the United States technology is very advanced, and he said what China doesn't understand.
If they attack with Russia, though, they could combine. They could probably.
But even Russia, he said he actually brought up Russia. He said the thing that Russia and China doesn't realize about the United States is when you piss them off, they're going to be like a bunch of wasps, and you're not even going to know where they're coming from. Before you can even get control of what's going on, you're dead. He said we all watched what happened in Iraq, which had one of the best air defense systems around at the time, with a 1 million man army top of the line of Russian aircraft, and they got their asses kicked in a day.
Fourth largest army in the world, they said.
Yes, it was the army that could take in all, and America just first off bombed them into submission after a couple of weeks, and then just rolled in our tanks and took everything over.
They were giving up in massive numbers.
No, yeah, they were. Well, that's how China was at the end of World War II. They were giving up. They were trading rifles for food, and that's the other problem China has. China can talk a big talk, but if you cut them off, they don't have enough food to feed all their people. They can go grow rice all they want. They're going to go back to being skinny, little useless people. You need way more than that.
And fuel.
And fuel.
That's it.
Because Russia can try to bring them fuel, but you can blow up every piece of fuel that's being brought in. Once that's done, so they might have a bigger navy, but if it ain't got no fuel, it ain't doing shit but sitting there. It's target practice is what it is. Yeah, so we have our own fuel. We don't have to rely on them. It's not something we have to rely on. And we have quite a lot of it. I don't know why they don't fill the whatchamacallits back salt domes. I've been wondering about that lately. I guess Trump's waiting for a better price. Yeah, no, I've seen the Pal Talk's been working good all night. Yeah, I've only seen like 8 people in there though. Yeah, no, Chris, it'll be there. We're gonna leave it open. Trump is pushing. Trump wants to make America great. So Trump's military is setting a record for recruiting. Actually, the guy said we don't even have to recruit. He said it's the largest amount of people ever to join the military in the history of the military. He said they are coming in.
Trump.
1 million people have put in applications this year. That's more than all of Biden's entire 4 years. Matter of fact, more than 1 million left under Biden. But that's combining everything. That's special support, military, Coast Guard, the whole 9 yards. It's and God knows what we seen that girl who was running our missile defense, or that guy or whatever the hell it was, he, she, it. That scares the shit out of me that thing had control of a nuclear weapon. I mean, come on. Or something that blows up a nuclear weapon. Jesse, we know we're getting ready to go, but America is working with lasers. We have them deployed on a few ships. We have them around a couple places. We got some in D.C. They're just not.
At least 3 rail guns out deployed with those said lasers.
Yeah, we just don't have. We just don't know. How long before they're going to be those kind of lasers you see on Star Trek. They go and kill 1,000 targets in a minute. Well,
hey,
the
Mike,
one. Go ahead.
Mike, what's your show on about tonight?
People.
Why
people are the way they are.
White people, man. You can't be hating on white people, man. Come on.
Why people?
Guaylo? You want to talk about the Guaylo?
Why people are the way they are.
I guess talking about white people, man. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. No, the laser systems are pretty good, but they're not. So when they built the 727 laser, the one on the Boeing 727, it's designed to take out 3,000 missiles in a matter of a few minutes. Now, when they tried it, the son bitch was lucky he could take out 5 missiles in 10 minutes. But it could take out nuclear missiles. That's still a good thing. So the way it's supposed to work for the lasers is supposed to be an airplane that flies a figure 8 over the United States, actually 2 of them, that just shoot down missiles. That's anything that Space Command misses in space, because it's supposed to be lasers in space shooting them. And then whatever they miss, the planes are supposed to take out. And then there's ground-based lasers, and whatever they miss, the ground-based lasers are supposed to be taken out. But then they didn't think that was going to be enough, so they decided they also needed missiles in space, and then 2 sets of types of missiles on the ground. They want to make sure nothing gets through. Yeah. And now they're talking about drone swoons as well. They want to just make sure the Golden Dome wants to be something that no missile can get through and do harm to us. Conventional, nuclear, nothing. And the reason they want to do that is because they want to be able to react instantly against anybody else.
Well,
So
yeah, you got these hypersonic missiles coming at you, so yeah.
yeah, so let's see, hypersonic is great up close. Long range, even a hypersonic missile is still going to take 10 or 15 minutes across the ocean, so you're tracking it the whole time. It's not like it's just, if you can get a submarine close enough and jump one up, you might be able to take out New York or DC, but you just gave up that sub. And goodbye submarine. And still, even then, if there's coastal and lasers aren't like missiles. Lasers travel at the speed of light.
Couldn't you launch from a cargo ship? Put one on a cargo ship, and nobody would ever know. One time shot, right? Boom.
You could. The problem with anything is we track radiation movement across the planet. So anything, even radiation this small, we're tracking it. So as long as you kept in a cargo ship contained, then you could probably get away with it. But as soon as you opened it up, some satellite's going to pick it up somewhere. So if you're not launched immediately, you're sunk. But it's a good chance.
Launch. You wouldn't open it just for
No, that's what I'm saying. But as it's opening, you could be hit. It's depending on the system. But I would think it would get off, and if they didn't get it some other way, it would hit something. It's hypersonic missiles at Mach 7 are going to be hard to shoot down, but not impossible. And they are talking about what they call scatter rail guns along the coast. So those shoot things at speeds, just ungodly speeds, and they shoot bunches of them.
Like near the speed of light, but it's like a shotgun. It shoots multiple projectiles at once per.
And then I seen the guy who actually invented the software that makes drones fly together. He said, "What we need to do is put screens up for places important." And so what he does is they put like 500 or 1,000 drones in this long box, and they put them like all the way around something. And then if something's coming in, they just hit the button, and the drones, they might not even blow up. The drones will just fly up, and the thing runs into the drones.
New York City
it makes like a curtain.
Yeah,
they're already using anti-drone technology. Drones with nets that catch the other drones. So that's what they got.
Yeah, they're going to be working with different things. There's a couple of things. There's going to be a lot of technologies have to be developed, but still, I think it's going to change.
Nets are beautiful. Nets are perfect.
Yeah. Until somebody invents something that heats up the drone and burns through the net.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I got to run. I got to go. I got to go to work tomorrow.
All right, get out of here, guys. We're getting ready to get out of here.
Hey, man. Be safe.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, Bam.
Guys.
Stop trying to get them women pregnant. Stop trying to get them women pregnant, man. I heard about that. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Corpus Christi, Texas. Yes, I am.
Yeah, Mike's got a show coming up.
Yeah, that's why we're getting out of here. Denise, Corpus Christi, Texas is a nice place to go hang out. Anyway, hit us up again. We'll be back in a couple of days. Mike will be back in a couple of minutes. And we're out of here. So, Jay, tell him bye. Joe, tell him bye. Joe, bye.
Wednesday on UFO.
Bye, people. Mike won't need to tell you bye because he'll be right back. Guys and girls, if you need anything, any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, feel free to write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Michelle DeRoche. Good night, everybody.